The following is brought to you by the People's National Party.
Make the trumpets play. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. To get champions, we can do it together. When we look at the future of precipice, we see Jamaica needs the vision of the PNP. People said the bag of promises, them can't carry go shop. And the crime rate getting higher, wonder when it does now come Rex. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. To get champions.
The proceeding was brought to you by the People's National Party. The following is brought to you by the People's National Party.
Make the trumpets play. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. To get champions, we can do it together. When we look at the future of precipice, we see Jamaica needs the vision of the PNP. People said the bag of promises, them can't carry go shop. And the crime rate getting higher, wonder when it does now come Rex. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. To get champions.
The proceeding was brought to you by the People's National Party.
Jamaica Diaspora Crime Intervention and Prevention Task Force, in association with the Global Jamaican Diaspora Council, presents on the 26th of July 2024 Jamaicans and Friends of Jamaica. Join us in conference as we speak against corruption, crime, poverty, failed healthcare, poor education, and injustice in Jamaica. This takes place on the 26th of July at 1320 Ellesmere Road, Ontario, Canada. This conference starts 3 till 10 p.m. Guest speakers on the day: Wayne Lonesome, Will Rattigan, Mystic Sensation, Herb Nelson Jr., Aromatic, Sister Maria, Jamaican Carlos, Dr. Rupert Francis, Jeffrey Tavares, and more. This is going to be a very important event for all Jamaicans and friends of Jamaica. Don't miss this event if you care about our country. Jamaicans in the diaspora, we can make a difference. If you're looking for an online magazine aiming to captivate and empower, look no further than Daisy Magazine. Daisy Magazine is the leading online publication in the US. Subscribe to Daisy Magazine, the digital subscription publication. Subscribe at www.magster.com/p/Daisy. Subscribe to the leading online publication, Daisy Magazine.
Hello and welcome. Happy Tuesday. Hi Kamala, welcome. All right, so happy Tuesday to everyone in television land. Happy Tuesday to our silent supporters, and happy Tuesday to everyone in the chat.
This is Babsy's post. I don't mind that real behind it. I'm going to see Babsy's post. I'm going to show no no. So that is where the post ends. It's so stupid. You don't realize that people can screenshot things.
Why am I not able to? One second, sorry. So tonight's topic is dual citizenship, constitution reform, and the rise of democratic socialism. When you come in, please remember to thumbs up the live, share us out if you can, and if you're new to the channel, please show us some support by subscribing, which will be greatly appreciated. Let me just quickly welcome those in the chat, and then I will hand over to Baron. As you see, we have Kamala already joined in. So we have Young's, Truck Life, Velma, Monish, Judith Livermore, Doris McCoy, Lyris Beckford, Montague James, Don Mel, Rennie Swaby, Janet Jones, Miss Yvonne Johnson, Patel Cookshank, Megawatt Volt, Herbert Tuzalin, Cynthia Murray, Andrea Hunt, Beres White, Diana Atkinson, Fitzroy Nugent, the Isaacs family, Leroy Henry, Faye Lyons, Monica Hall, Noel Williams, Maxine Cummings. Welcome, Jeanette Letts, welcome. Happy Tuesday. Without any delay, I am going to hand over to Baron so I can do some housekeeping, and he will talk about the other guests that are going to be joining in.
All right. Thank you, Effie, for that precursor there. And of course, we have Kamla, the right mango, with us here today. We also will be having in studio Zara Burton, and we will be having Herb Nelson join us later. And we'll be also have Ratigan and Maria will be joining us today. So, of course, we have a full panel today, right, that, we will be dissecting some information as it relates to dual citizenship, right, in terms of, have a better understanding, right? We'll be using supported documents, supported evidence, right, to justify the means of, persons who are in the Commonwealth, be a Commonwealth citizen, right, has the right to represent us in Parliament, right, based on the Constitution. So let me just
unmute my mic. Mystic.
Yeah.
Sorry
Yes.
about that. I was live, so they were hearing you, but you weren't hearing me.
Oh.
I'm just bringing you in now.
All right.
Yes, remember, say I'm live on my platform too. So we are trying this merger thing.
All right.
So them telling me, say they hear you, but them not here. It's like we're running two simultaneous. So welcome. You're not wasting my camera here, but I am
Yes,
here.
that's okay.
Oh, the
All
camera
right.
is
Go ahead, Kamla.
Yeah, man. So I'm just telling my viewers, I am now joining Mystic Sensation on his program, and he's joining me on my program. So welcome, Anne-Marie and Mystic. Byron, welcome to Politics Church Nightly. All right? I am a guest on his platform. So that is what was causing the mix-up. All right. Me not cuss your father. Me not somebody I tell me say me cuss them. Me not cuss your father, Perry. All right. Yeah, man. I'm up and running.
All right. Thank you, Kamla, for that. So remember, our subscribers, right, and all the persons in TV land, remember to go over Kamla, the right mango, right, and subscribe to her channel, because you know that she's a thunderbolt, right? And so please, I'm asking you, right, begging you, right, for you to subscribe to her channel. Also remember Aromatic.
And likewise, my viewers and subscribers, go and subscribe to Mystic Sensations channel.
All right. Yes, because I mean, unity is strength. And of course, exactly. We want to make sure that we are disseminating the right information to our people, so our people can make that informed decision when it comes to general election, because this is the mission onward to general election. And what we are here for, we are here to ensure good governance, right? We are here to ensure that we want a government that deals with honesty and integrity. That's the object. That's the objective of our purpose, right? Driving this mission. So we are going to get into the program right now, right? And I want to just set certain things straight here. So before we start, of course, we are going to fly smoothly as usual, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we are going to play Dr. Dayton Campbell at the Braze River Divisional Conference, right? So I want people to tune in and listen. Tonight, it's going to be very hot. Trust me, because we are going to be dealing with the issues, right? The issues of disinformation, misinformation, distractions, and of course, get into the issue with Mark Golding being a Commonwealth citizen, right? And vying for prime ministership and in parliament. So we will get into that. So without any further delay, let us get into the smooth flight with Dr. Dayton Campbell at the Braze River Divisional Center Conference.
Okay.
To all of the other comrades who are seated at the head table, and of course, to you, the backbone of the People's National Party, the warriors of the PNP, greetings. We're in conference season, so it's natural that it gives us an opportunity to respond to certain things that are going on in the society.
Turn it up the little mystic.
Before I get to the labor right, and I will get
Yes, I can do. That's what I was.
I want to know right. Not leave them alone, because if you leave the lie unchecked, people start believing, so we don't leave them alone.
It's actually low, Kamla.
The volume already 90%.
I want to thank the supporters, the members of the People's National Party. Respect due to the supporters of the People's National Party. And respect is due because
itself.
4 years ago, or 3.5 years ago, we suffered a very terrible defeat. And after that, several persons in the society write me off. Let's say 49 seats is a 2-term or 3-term victory. We can't come back for now. Let's say all sorts of things. But we are back and we are in the lead because of the support of our members and our supporters who never left the PNP, not for a minute. And so as a respect due to the comrades them. People then, when no matter what go on, you put on your armband or you put on your orange shirt, no matter what people have said, you roll a fist and put your fist up in the air and ball out PNP for life. Respect you, man. The comrades of Braze River, who no time did not let down the People's National Party. No time at all, Braze River not let down the People's National Party. Respect due to the comrades of the Braze River Division. And you know the Labourites have one come on over there who Julian run out of parliament one year. Tell us if they go out and do a kind of boss fire. Running out and do like a little dog. Go out and do about your boss fire. Go outside. And he's shame, you know. He's shame, man. He's shame.
In boss fire him.
Because in shame, you start big friend. So outside. Everything.
Outside.
The other day, I hear the man come out and the man cuss down and this and like dog to them. They say, watch out. Now, comrades, look at this. 2 years ago, they did some polls, and the PNP was 13 points behind. When Dean Jackson called, Horace Chang take interview, Matthew Samuda take interview, and me have to take an interview and go out there. When me go out there, they link me left, right, and center, and they say, oh, you remember, say, Mark, just come on him. At 2017, since we turned MP, just come and people don't know it yet, but we can't go around and make people know it. Dr. Campbell, you're sure that can't work this? Go on with a bag of things. Comrade Hugo, we take him around and we carried him to divisional conference. And I remember Comrade Patterson, Comrade PJ Patterson said at our NEC that it is the first he has seen any leader of the party go to so many divisional conferences. But guess what? When we go, they go cool again. Still them behind by double digit same way. They call we again, including Cliff Hughes. And we have to take the interview and go over them and say we have a plan. One time when the argument I go reach me, we have to draw deep right now, the shoes for argument. So you meet to them with them. I said, then if you get a pity in a first form or second form, the CXT exam, you think they're not passing. So they couldn't pass him, and it's a 5-year term. Give it a good time. No. When we were going towards the local government election, the Labour Party make a plan that they are going to call the local election, Comrade McCarthy. And that they are going to win the election.
Sorry guys,
and
it's
then
the video
after that, we are going to start fight amongst ourselves.
The volume is low on.
And then 3 months later, they are going to call the general election. Because Mo and Darrell Vaz knows the Labour right talk to it to them. As a matter of fact, Darrell, for sure, it's a Labour right talk to me. A Labour right called me this morning and said, I'm going to brace you, and I must big up Andrew Holness, Juliet Holness, Andrew Wheatley, Everall Warmington, Bobby Montague, and Fly Green. He said 6 names, we must interpret what the one for that. Hold on. And the information minister can't say nothing to me because a Labour right tell me so. Me don't break no law. So she said, as a Labour right tell me so. But anyways. Oh, different dance again. Yeah, so when we go into the local election or we come out of the local election, no, Comrade Fisher, make we ask anybody now we have any farmer sense at that. We are going to do it like with our primary school. Yeah. John had 5 mangoes. John went into the election and John came out with 7 mangoes. Did John win or lose the election?
Who won the election?
No, 5 years we're going with, and we come out with 7.
Of course they win.
So,
you win.
All right. Let me ask one next question. The Jamaica Labour Party went into the election with 130 divisions. And they come out of the election with 113 divisions. The PNP went into the elections with 98 divisions and come out of the election with 115 divisions. Who win?
Break it down to them again. They still don't know the match, but the Portland may have matched them again.
Exactly.
I said to myself, I wonder if we don't have no sense again. I really wonder what I want. Now, watch this now. Labour rights, put on Clark's money, man. Remember, say Andrew Wallace is a little boring nerd, man. No, man. Andrew Wallace is like what Bible say, lukewarm. He not bright and he not dunce. He not black and he not brown. He not rich and he not poor. He just in the middle.
That video is very poor.
So sorry, but it's
just in the middle.
video itself.
Yeah, the video is.
Yeah, the video quality is very poor. I realize that.
Yeah.
That them say. Now, let me show you something. Maths is a thing, you know. McCarthy, you're a mathematician. Maths is a thing, you know. Andrew Holness has led the Labour Party to 3 local government elections. 2012, 2016, and 2024.
Them say me live.
We normally add up all the votes.
Them say me live flag. TikTok. I'm gonna end it and start it again. Them say flag. I think it's because I use that. Not you.
Right? Remember that when they get a backside,
not you, Mystic. Just on this side.
In 2016, the JLP get 287,000 votes under Andrew Holness. In 2024, they get 289,000 votes. Mark Golding has led the PNP into one local government election. At the end of the local government election, the PNP got 311,000 votes. Then how this man is so popular and the greatest thing ever, and Mark Golding get 20,000 more votes than him? Bobby Montague got up in Parliament at the Labour Right Conference and said Mark Golding is an asset to the Labour Party. A few years ago with the mouth order said, him said Mark Golding is an asset to the Labour Party. All of a sudden when they get a beating now, all of a sudden them a run now and I tell you say he can't run because him a this and him a that. If him a British, if him a Australian, if him a Jamaican, it don't matter why it be. When you call the election, we are going to put the X squarely beside the head and send Mark Golding to Jamaica House as the Prime Minister.
Amen.
No. You see, if me when I go take some advice about the Constitution of Jamaica, me not take no advice from somebody who 4 times now the court tell them say them unconstitutional. That the person couldn't be the person to give me the advice. Andrew Holness. And people don't remember this, you know. Let me give you the history. When Comrade Portia Simpson Miller won in 2011, December 29, in her inaugural speech in January 2012, she said, time come now. And Holy Pounder knows how Portia start the time come argument. She said, time come now to get rid of Queen. And Mark Golding, as our Justice Minister, put together some bills because we wanted to get rid of the Queen and we wanted to get rid of the Privy Council. Andrew Holness decided that if one of the senators them thinks them bad, and go vote for the PNP, forget CCJ, he make sure that he get them to sign one thing named undated resignation letter. Him write the resignation letter and don't put the date on it and get them to sign it and say if you don't ever get up and go vote for CCJ, we are going to just put it in your name and you're gone. Over CCJ they do that, you know. When they reach the CCJ debate, you know, my comrade. But Hardly Shaw decides say I'm going to bring back the love in the Labour Party, because Labour Party really not the love unless they never go on them. When Hardly Shaw challenged him, Tufton and Arthur Williams supported Hardly Shaw. Remember what we say, man, do you letter them, father? Do you letter them to say? If JLP is against it, if JLP appoint to no one go vote it, we are going to take a note. That's in it. When the man them go support Hardly Shaw, you know, so the man used the letter. He used the letter and dashed out Arthur Williams and Chris Tufton out of Parliament. The matter went to the court, and the court said it was unconstitutional. You can't do that, put them back in there. He must take out Nigel Clark and Railweed and put back Arthur and Tufton. But if you remember, there's something going on.
Helping you save on playtime since '94. Rick loves visiting Sun Life Health EU to get access to advice from the Raptors health experts.
When the court ruled against Wallace got church and saying sorry. And the week after I'm appealing. You know what I'm saying, man? In a God house, he go saying sorry about it. In a God house, the man go turn up and saying sorry. And by the next week, he appealed the decision. And wicked, you know? He then put the Chief Justice on probation. Now, if anyone of you in your own any form of business, you know when you put somebody on probation, why you do it? Because you said to them, if you don't work good, you'll not get the work. And that you said to them, you know, probation is a period for you to prove yourself. If you don't work good, you'll not get the work. So when a Prime Minister put the Chief Justice on probation, he's saying, if you don't rule the case them in my favor, you're not going to get the work. When he did that, the judge them in a Jamaica protest. Watch out. First in the history of the country, the judges in the country protested. And they had to change it. This is the man what they might try to tell me is the best Prime Minister. But me I make one argument tonight that it is the worst Prime Minister. So me I put forward my argument tonight. He came back again and him put in state of emergency. And him lock up people without charge, without bail, for a prolonged period of time. 9 months, 12 months. You have one you get up and put on him chef shirt and take up him chef knife and go work and police take him and lock him up. The man is no criminal. The man a go work with his chef knife and police take him and lock him up and have him in a detention for months without charge and without bail. We had a candidate that ran for us in Mobile the last time. In East Central St. James, Michael Hebbins, attorney at law. Him take up the case and carry it to court, and the court rule against the government that they are unconstitutional. Then the people can't tell me about constitution. We come again, and then say them extend the tenure of the director of public prosecution, PPP. When them say them do it, Dr. Phillips was the leader at the time. Him say, boy, we have some concern, and him write one letter and list out the concerns of him have. I say, anyway, they're going to the 2 years. The woman reach retirement at 60 years. Get the extension for 2 years. You know. When the 2 years are going to run out, you know what the man then do? The man then come with another extension again for the next 3 years. The same somebody will reach retirement 2 years ago. We can't matter go to court again. If we don't deal with the court system, then we want to run the country while, you know, we have to carry them go to court. When we carry the matter go to court again, the court rule that the action that they took is unconstitutional. No. We are going to review our constitution now. And you expect me to let Marlene Malawo Ford to deal with Timothy in the future. It can't happen. It can't happen. Me have to see every word we in first before we go down that road, because I do not trust Marlene Malawo Ford or Andrew Holness with the Constitution of Jamaica. Vampire, we don't like to see you. See him say, come on. No. They submit a report. Most of you in here don't know why they reported it. At least at that time. You might see things and some people might know. Most people still don't know. But they submit a report. The leader of the party say, well, on, draw breaks. We have some concerns. First argument them start with is that them are trying to pressure the two persons when they're on the committee to sign the report. No, because the Labour Party is a dictatorship. Them don't understand how leadership work, you know. When you are appointed to a committee, you are there as a representative of the party. You not did it for yourself. So none of the two representatives can just go over there and just sign on their own personal behalf. They are there representing the People's National Party. Which means that whatever is discussed, you have to carry it back to the party where you represent. My brother, you know one of the proposals where them having the recommendation.
Right, folks, because
that the government
46 minutes long.
To the majority, I remember from your government,
here, I think,
that the government to a simple majority
receive
can put off the date of the election for 6 months.
Cut this. Right. Kamala?
Yeah, man, I'm here.
Okay. So we bear witness of the Jamaica Labour Party acting on roughly 4 or 5 occasions of unconstitutionality. And here they are. Here they are. Right. Wanting to hold Mark Golding as it relates to him being a Commonwealth citizen. And they have no right to that claim or no basis that we are going to prove later that the Constitution supports Mark Golding as a Commonwealth citizen, right, to, of course, make representation for the people, right, in Parliament, whether in the upper house, lower house, or in pursuit of being the Prime Minister.
Yeah.
We have supported documents tonight that we are going to present. I know that you on Saturday, right, had a lawyer on Reason with Rattigan who claimed that if you born in the Commonwealth and you go to another Commonwealth country and you sworn allegiance, cannot, right, represent in the Parliament. Well, I'm going to prove him wrong tonight because of the supportive evidence that we have, right? So I am just going to play along until we have Rattigan join us and Herb, and I was told that Zara Burton asked to join the live as well. So she will be, we believe that going on as well. So without any delay, Kamala, I want to play something, and you know, as it relates to how negative the Jamaica Labour Party supporters are, and it goes beyond ignorance. When you have someone who want to instill violence using what we call reverse psychology, right? You know, people from time to time said, Mystic Sensation, you don't have to follow them all the time, but guess what? We have to make sure that any information that has the ability to disseminate it, right, and may, right, wade voters or change voters' mind, we have to attack that.
That is it.
Right? And we have to make sure that we are passing the correct information. So, Kamala, I'm going to play this. Right? This is a guy popular on TikTok, right? Who he really doesn't know his head from his foot, but you know, he just like to speak foolishly. So we are going to display that and to crush that. But what I want people to be keen with is his message, right? Using reverse psychology, instilling violence, and seems like, right, he want to tell his base, right, as it relates to, you know, being violent, but want to use it in a psychological reverse way. So let me just play it. All right.
All right.
Or is it in your one?
Yeah, he might want. Yeah.
What is it going to take for Mark Golding and the People's National Party to realize and understand that they have lost the election. And they must go one side now and stop trying to get the people them to fight against each other. Before Mark Golding became a member of the PNP party, there was relatively peace and quiet politically, you know. This man is a crosses man, you know. Jamaica, go stand by and watch Mark Golding wreck this country again by starting political turmoil in the country. Eh? You don't see what, you so stupid, you don't see what this man do. You don't say, set Mark Golding and set us against each other. We don't need that. We don't need to be against each other. The PNP have lost the election and Mark Golding will not concede that he has lost and is trying to wreak havoc on the population. Mark Golding, me know say you don't have no heart, you know. Because we see what you're doing at FinSac, you know, in the 90s, you know. Right? Through your own admission too. Mark Golding, stop trying to set the people against each other. We don't want no political violence. No PNP no fear fight no Labour right and no Labour right no fear fight no PNP. Mark Golding, you need to step aside and leave this thing alone. You lose the election, brother. Bumbuckler. Time come for you understand that now. So you need to fuck off.
Boy. The class that was outside the classroom and now I'm on mango tree.
Thank you, Brother Herb, for joining in.
What happened to the crowd? I thought you'd have a crowd on here. What happened? Seems like everybody gone to bed early.
It seems like.
Yeah.
But, you know, thank you for coming on, Sir Herb. I think Ratigan will join us later.
Okay.
No.
So it's a Titans reunion. Where is Wayne?
No, I don't know what to say about this Kamala.
All
right. Because this man had lost his nerve. Right?
You want to tell you my opinion?
Yes.
Nothing from a pig but a grunt.
Okay, all right.
Nothing from a pig but a grunt.
Nothing from a pig but a grunt. And you know what? Kamala, we are going to leave him there.
Yeah, man. You know really give them people, you know, yes, Jomo, it was rusty. You know, give them people, you know, your energy because you realize that them not really too bright upstairs. You realize that them not really have much sense. So you just part them and leave them where them is.
All right.
You understand? Because it don't make no sense. Some battles, you just leave it alone.
Yes.
Because, you know, we beyond this now with them. Because them say, you know why I realize it don't make no sense with them? Because this man is still trying to convince himself, say, PNP lose the local government election. From him start right there, so him dead in the show. From him start this, so from him start talk say PNP lose the election. You know, say him trying to, you can't say he's trying to convince himself.
Exactly.
That's basically it, you know. So what the point in arguing with these people when really and truly them don't make no sense.
Them don't make no
sense.
All right. Let me move on with someone as a little more sense, because this could be the reason, right, why they are reacting like this. So without any further delay, let us get into the next clip. Yeah, on the overlay.
Okay.
Number 10.
It's two of them.
Number 10 on the overlay.
Okay.
Fascinating as
you know, an onlooker in terms of the law, it is fascinating to hear the intricacies and the arguments. Yeah? And what is clear, what is not so fascinating, yeah, is that a lot of people, including myself, have a big problem with our alternative prime minister, yes, having citizenship of a foreign power. It is as simple as that for me. Yeah, I want, like all our previous prime ministers, my prime minister to have no such doubt or conflict surrounding them. There is no doubt about his loyalty and allegiance to us. Yes?
The principle matter.
The principle.
Yeah.
He must be in the same boat like all of we. No way in Cameroon go.
We should tell the listeners that we did try to get comment from the People's National Party about the legal issues. We were told that they were having a shadow cabinet meeting, and so they weren't able to.
And they want to shut this down, I can tell you. This is very, very difficult for them.
A spot of butter.
A spot of butter. They want to shut it down. Yes.
Let us take that away, and let me say my piece, Kamala here. Now, just imagine, as it relates to what Cliff Hughes had said, that Mark Golden situation as it relates to Mark Golden being a Commonwealth citizen, right, is a serious problem as according to him, and it's a trust issue as according to him. Remember that Mark Golden has not. Yes, remember that Mark Golden has not broken any law, which we are going to prove. And
it's not just about the law, though.
Exactly.
Mark Golden did not go to another country and say, I want to be a citizen of that country.
Exactly.
Mark Golden's father was a British man, and he inherited the citizenship of his father. And I'm going to tell you how these people are hypocritical. Because, let me tell you something. We go to British citizens who are born in Britain and are of Jamaican descent and beg them to come here, come play football for we.
That's a point.
We go US and beg where the guy named the other day where him father is a Jamaican and him run the 200. Him is not a Jamaican, but him father is a Jamaican. And we bring him out here and give him a passport and beg him run a 200 for we. So what the difference?
So, but we conveniently, this government conveniently using Commonwealth.
And they might try and make a big deal out of it, and it now going away, and they might push and it not going anywhere. But I can tell you one thing. Rishi Sunak, you see, it's so ironic. Rishi Sunak is the Prime Minister of Britain. Britain is our former colonizer. Rishi Sunak is a citizen by descent of India. Yes. His mother and his father are Indians.
Yes.
Right? His mother and his father are Indians. And Rishi Sunak is the Prime Minister of UK, of Britain.
Exactly.
So what is that saying to you?
Exactly.
So them is here trying to make up for them own rules and regulations where don't go so. When the people them whose law we follow have a prime minister right now in the exact same boat as Mark Golden, but it's not one parent, it's two. Rishi Sunak is an Indian. His mother and his father born and grow in India and migrate to UK, and him born in the UK. And he is a citizen by descent. I googled this and I checked it.
And you're right.
Rishi Sunak has never renounced citizenship of India. Never. And it is natural because India is a member of the Commonwealth.
Simple.
It's natural that Rishi Sunak would inherit his parents' nationality, because that is how the Commonwealth run.
Yes.
You know? And but you see, you have it there, Boris Johnson, the former British Prime Minister is an American, and that is a fact. Somebody just said it on your scroll a while ago. That is also a fact. But I will go further, Byron and Herbie and Anne-Marie, and I will say this. Why the JLP is disingenuous, wicked, and lie and desperate.
Vicious.
Edward Philip George Seaga was born in Boston, Massachusetts, and came to Jamaica at 3 months old. Edward Philip George Seaga, his parents were Lebanese.
Yes.
His parents were Lebanese.
That's correct.
What was his tie to Jamaica other than this man coming to Jamaica because his parents decided to live in Jamaica? The man is a naturalized citizen of Jamaica. He's not even Jamaican by descent. Edward Philip George Seaga had to swear allegiance to Jamaica. He was not born here. He's not a naturalized citizen of, he's not a citizen by descent of Jamaica. He's a naturalized citizen of Jamaica.
Yes.
So what I want to ask you this now, Mark Golden born here, you know. Aside from the fact that he's born here, his father is British. His mother is Jamaican. His mother's parents are also Jamaican. Right?
Yes.
We jump up and down and we love Bob Marley and we claim Bob Marley. We never ever say Bob Marley needs to go back to him is British. Nobody has across the world has ever said that Bob Marley is a British man.
But look at that.
Bob Marley's father is a British man though.
Yes.
You understand? Bob Marley's father is a British man. So how is it that we get to choose and pick who we accept as citizen of descent? That's what I want to know.
Very, very good, Kamala. Every point that you touch, right, you just hit the nail on the head. But I am going to I am going to show the Jamaican people how hypocritical Andrew Wallace is. This magazine. Maria, bless up. I am going
to Maria.
Big up yourself, Daisy.
Yeah.
Hi, Miss Daisy. What are you hiding from us? What happened?
Sir, I'm a too long wake up.
Well, look, that's the best shot that Baron can get.
Listen,
I'm sure Anne-Marie can touch it up if she need to.
Yes.
I'm a too long wake up. I have to big up Right Mango. My friend, you're a part of this family, right? And much respects, much respects, much respects. We have to keep the fire burning. And Baron, Anne-Marie, blessings, blessings. Sir Herb, the greatest of respect, my friend.
Yeah.
All right. Herb, sit tight. I don't ready to bring you in yet. I want to bring you in when we get more heated. Right? So just sit and turn on her mic. Just
heated? You mean Kamala gonna want to slap you around or something like that?
Well, right. So let me Kamala and Marie sort of start to juggle the issue. We know when we are going to bring you in the very serious issues, and I think by doing so, we will anticipate for Rattigan to come in, because we want everyone here when we are discussing.
No problem. I understand. No problem.
Okay. So let us look Jamaica, right? Yes. Hold on a minute. Carla, you're on Mystic Sensation. Go ahead.
Good evening to you and Anne-Marie and your esteemed panelists.
Blessing.
I've been listening to your program, but I'm kind of get taken aback a bit, because to my mind, when I look at the situation as a whole, this thing seems to me is a massive distraction, brother Mystic.
It is.
Because we stop talking about the corruption, we stop talking about the illicit sex. All of these issues seem to be sidelined. And this particular issue that you are discussing, to me, is much ado about nothing, because we all agree that Mark Golding is actually not contravening the Constitution.
The Constitution.
And if we all agree to that, why we are spending so much time on this non-issue, if you ask me?
Destruction.
To SSL.
Destruction.
I mean, we forget the sixth, the enrichment at the sixth parliament here. That is no longer the forefront of the issue.
Well, we are here.
Although I appreciate the fact, but to me, that is looking on. I believe that you guys shouldn't really give so much credence and so much prominence to something which is a non-issue.
May I agree with your caller. I agree with your caller.
All of that, them use this as a smoke screen, to my mind, to change the focus of what the real issues are.
You're perfectly right.
You might not agree with me. Also.
No, I agree. I agree.
Perfectly right. We need to bury this issue now and stop talking about it.
I'm happy that you give me the opportunity to share this. Because, you know, when I listen, I see all them life scheme them way and create distraction. I mean, you know, I really forget them prominence. Is them happy enough? They are happy. Them say, yes, nobody not talk about my
Statutory declaration.
Integrity, yes, that is not on the radar anymore. So we need to stay, as Lone some that said, and Rattigan, we need to stay focused. We're supposed to do having a rear view mirror, not no side mirror, just looking ahead. Because I'm sure you agree with me, see how Herb look there, is that this is a massive distraction.
Exactly.
So, you know, I kind of feel that way when we say so much prominence is given to this distraction.
All right. Well said, Carl.
Nonetheless, join the program, but it's something that you probably could think about, sir.
Okay. Very good. Very good.
All right, sir.
All right.
Thanks to you and all your panelists, Maria, Right Mango.
Big up yourself. Anybody on TikTok who wants to come in with a comment, feel free to join the box.
Yes.
We'll open up the discussion.
Okay. Okay.
All right. And
okay. Yeah. Sorry, Mystic. May I just say something here? I agree with the caller.
However,
but I have one caveat to that. The reason we have to talk about this issue is not only to highlight the hypocrisy, but given that the government is doing a reform of the Constitution, you see the level. You have to ask the question: how can you be talking about reforming a Constitution that you yourself have no respect for? Because Mark Golding did not do anything wrong. That's the first thing they will say to you. Oh, he did nothing wrong. The Constitution allows for that. But if the Constitution allows for that, that is within the rule of law, right? Exactly. Now, if you're going to come with a but, then the problem is on you. So clearly, these people, by their own utterances, are showing that they are not qualified to be reforming any constitution, because the one that they have no respect for it. No wonder you get the debacle of a report that they put out, because it's about, you read it and you see that, oh, so they don't really want to reform the Constitution. They want to enshrine their corruption.
Perfect.
So we are talking about it to shed light on the hypocrisy and to also magnify the fact that these people really have no respect for the Constitution, and also at the same time bring into focus and keep the focus on the fact that you have a prime minister who likes to run his mouth about people of unquestioned integrity must sit in his parliament, yet he himself has questionable character. He himself, his integrity is shot. He has none. He doesn't have the moral ground on which to stand to say anything to Mark Golding and not even to his own cabinet ministers who are not upholding the Constitution or who have no respect for the Constitution. He does not have that moral ground on which to stand. And that is why we have to, you know, if the script was flipped and this was Mark Golding, whose statutory declarations could not be certified for 3 years, Andrew Holness would be beating it like a drum. You'd have to peel his ass off the ceiling. Because remember now, we have to go back to what he did to Richard Azan.
Yes.
Richard Azan did not enrich himself. Richard Azan did not take taxpayers' money. All that was wrong was it didn't follow protocol. That's all. Who benefited from what Richard Azan did? Poor people. So are they saying that they don't care about poor people? Because it's the poor people who benefited from these 6 stalls. Poor people. And it's not like they came and they have done anything better since then to show that they care about poor people. So let's look at what he did to Richard Azan. And it's a dark day. Even though Richard Azan did not steal taxpayers' money, he did not enrich himself. He was not under investigation for illicit enrichment. He said it was a dark day, and Pernell and all of them and Mackenzie and everybody sit down there and, oh my God, the Jamaica is destroyed. Oh my gosh, the Prime Minister. And look at what Andrew Holness is doing. And the same people who said it was a dark day are not holding Andrew to the same standard that he said when he was opposition leader. So let's take the fire to Andrew Holness and let's magnify it on his inability to have his statutory declaration certified 3 years running, yet he sits on this high horse talking about, you know, integrity and untenable and on what is incurable. My dear, look in the mirror, because Andrew Holness is projecting. He needs to take a look in the mirror. But this, we talk about it because we have to draw the parallels. But I am also, the caller is right and Right Mango is right. We have to stop talking about Mark Golding on this issue because he didn't violate the Constitution. Full stop.
Yes. And that is why we are going to use tonight to clear it up and show empirical evidence that we are going to show. But now, the next clip that I'm going to show is to show Jamaica, wake up Jamaica, right, as it relates to the hypocrisy of the Jamaica Labour Party and particularly Andrew Holness. All of this and what the caller who had called earlier, right, said it's destruction. The real issue is that Jamaica, right, has to come to, you know, a realization that Andrew Holness is now going to venture into 3 years without his statutory declaration being certified.
This going to make 4 years, Byron. This year will make 4 years.
4 years. Perfectly right. So just look at that. Getting into 4 years, right? The real issue here is illicit enrichment. And not only that, Andrew Holness statutory declaration, right, unable to certify. The fact of the matter, if the Integrity Commission investigators unable to certify Andrew Holness statutory declaration, what does that mean in common sense? It means that Andrew Holness lied on his statutory declaration. What Cliff Hughes and other journalists, mainstream media, right, PSOJ, right, and the churches need to do, right, need to come out and say enough is enough.
That is right.
We have a prime minister, right, who going into the 4th years where its statutory declaration cannot be certified. This is a very, very serious issue. And upon top of that, we have $1.7 trillion missing. Now, but let us, you know, not distract a bit. You understand as what Maria said, right, that we are going to shed some light on the hypocrisy where Andrew Holness is concerned. And people, I'm going to have you read it for yourself. That here is Andrew Holness setting up his minion to attack Mark Golden about dual citizenship. Hear what Andrew has to say about dual citizenship prior in getting into power. And this is how hypocritical Andrew Holness is. Let us show the evidence here. Let us show this and show people how hypocritical Andrew Holness is. Right? And Cliff Hughes need to see this. This is what Cliff Hughes need to see. Holness bats for dual citizen in Parliament. And this was what? Tuesday, November 8, 2011. Holness bats for dual citizen in Parliament. Let us read on, people. This is Andrew Holness. This is the big old hypocrite that we are talking about. Prime Minister Andrew Holness say he is in support. So Cliff Hughes, do you hear this? Cliff Hughes, I want to listen, you know. Do you hear this, Cliff Hughes? Prime Minister Andrew Holness says he is in support of calls to amend the Constitution to allow persons with dual allegiances to offer themselves for political office. Let us read on. Holness, who as leader of government business in the House of Representatives, headed a parliamentary committee to determine how to treat with the issue, said it was unfair, you're honest, unfair to some members of the diaspora. Unfair to some members of the diaspora who are barred by the Constitution from serving in the legislature. So then let me ask now, to the fact that Andrew Holness now is going there, and yet he has a right to change his mind. Let me mention that. He has a right to change his mind. But we want to say, as it relates to the nature of what is happening, the hypocrisy of Andrew Holness. Right? Now, when I look at that, because now he has an issue with the diaspora, right? Now he's talking about dual citizenship. To an extension, right? Barring the diaspora, that if anyone from the diaspora want to represent, whether in the lower house or the upper house, right, want to represent us politically, they are barred and barred from our electoral process, right? Because he has now an issue with the diaspora. Here it is. Here it is. And hear what he's saying here. Holness, who was a leader of government business in the House of Representatives, headed a parliamentary committee to determine how to treat with the issue, said it was unfair to some members of the diaspora who are barred by the Constitution from serving in the legislature. Take that away. Now, Sister Kamala, you want to take
What were you saying? Repeat.
You want to, where Holness said it is unfair, right? As it relates to, you know, not having dual citizenship, right, represent us in Parliament. Holness said it is unfair in 2000.
He said it. He said it. Let me tell you something. Holness come in like when you give a dog a bone and him just have a point and him want to hold on to it and him not letting go. It's what it is, you know, the desperation of everything. At the end of the day, Byron.
Yes.
Holness is, I've said this already before on your program. He's politically dead and he's looking for a lifeline. And him thinks, by holding on to Mark Golden shirt or color, you know, when I drown, them say drowning man clutch at straw.
Exactly.
That is Holness. So the bottom line is they are basically trying to clutch on to Mark Golden for a lifeline, you know. He's literally trying to clutch onto Mark Golden for a lifeline.
Exactly.
But him don't, you see what they're doing, they're trying to keep this thing in the media. And the media is complicit. The media is always complicit. I keep on saying this. People don't realize that the government is the media's biggest customer. Right? If you listen to any radio station in Jamaica, who for are they hear the most? You hear them, you hear government ads. When you listen to the talk show hosts, them have 15-minute segments where it's sponsored by different government agencies. Exactly. For instance, you listen to Emily Shields on Hotline. She have Christopher on one day. She have Nigel on another day. She have segments that these people pay for. He who pays the piper calls the tune.
Exactly.
So the media there, let me tell you something. Without government funding, the NNN would not exist.
Exactly.
There would be no NNN without government funding. He who pays the piper calls the tune. All right. So all I'm saying is, if this is the case, then how is it that we expect the media to do anything but be complicit in the foolishness that this government is? You following me?
Exactly, of course.
At the end of the day, panelists, Andrew Holness needs something to make himself relevant. He needs something. So in his mind and in the mind of the GLP, this is what they're going to hold on to for dear life to give them some sort of relevance. But I agree with the caller that, you know, we are allowing them to control our narrative. We are allowing them to determine what our narrative is supposed to be. We have so many things to talk about. Right? First and foremost, why are we on here talking about Mark Golden citizenship when Babsy tell a big lie and gaslighting the whole away? Babsy, imagine Babsy put up a post on Instagram where she failed to acknowledge the Right Honorable PJ Patterson, who was at a football game over the weekend with Andrew Holness and herself. And she put up the picture with the three of them and failed to acknowledge PJ Patterson.
So disrespectful.
And she was called out. She was called out. Over 20, as a matter of fact, closer to 36 hours later, the post was amended. And Babsy Grange, in an article today, claims that it's PNP operatives sabotaging her and nothing never goes. So after she made the correction, and we have the two posts them. But I go and dip up on there tomorrow about it. Them things that we're supposed to talk about. You understand? We're supposed to be talking about the same. Only don't realize that this government fighting tooth and nail to get Paula back her job. You know, sister, them trying to expedite Paula case to get Paula to go into the court immediately, right? Because Paula want back her job. Them need to get Paula back there. Them need Paula back in the job, because if Paula not in, if Paula do in the job, them now go get where the illicit six now go get where. So them have to have Paula there. Them have to have Paula there. Those are the things that we need to be highlighting. The fact that Paula Llewellyn is fighting tooth and nail to get back our work as DPP. Them something they were supposed to watch, you know. Make the media go. Let me tell you something. Byron, Daisy Magazine, Herbie, listeners on YouTube and TikTok across the platforms, listen to me carefully. We on social media are slowly but surely obliterating mainstream media.
Exactly.
Slowly but surely. More Jamaicans in the diaspora and in Jamaica listen to us collectively than who is listening to mainstream media. The whole of them losing them listenership. Because people do not trust them anymore. People do not trust them anymore. And we need to come to the realization. Let me tell you something. When you see the number of views that you guys in the diaspora have, when you combine that with Andre Stevens, me just start up my little YouTube platform, and so I'm not reach nowhere yet. But even when you see us on TikTok, we have the ears of the people. So because we have the ears of the people, we need to tell the people them about the things that matter. The majority of Jamaicans don't give two hoots about where Mark Golden come from, because they remember Siaga was an American who the CIA bring in, right? I have been doing some education on my platform in a Sir Herbie. And we dig up in a Siaga background, you know. And Siaga was an implant by the CIA to ensure that Jamaica remains a puppet. You know what the CIA called Jamaica in their 1980 release that was now declassified, 1982. They call it the Jamaican experiment.
Yes.
Because they put Siaga there to experiment to see if capitalism would work better than socialism.
Yes.
And them something they will need to tell the Jamaican people them about. Them don't have no labor right, don't have no moral authority to tell we nothing about who come from where, because them elect an American man who was planted here to destroy our economy. And as I am saying, I am talking because of the declassified documents from the CIA. I'm not making this thing up.
No, man, you're right, man, because I played it, Kamala. I played it over here. So you're right. Everything what you're saying, right? I have gone through that, right? And persons in the chat, they can tell you, you understand? I had spoken about it time and time, talking about colonialism, right? And persons who try to protect their wealth from out of colonialism, that so-called neo-colonialism taking over, right? That gets into capitalism. And that the Jamaica Labour Party tried to preserve capitalism. And exactly. You're right. Exactly. You're right as it relates to the
But they groom what Jamaicans need to understand is that they groom Siaga for it. Them never only do them anky-panky in Jamaica, and them do them anky-panky in JLP. You think so the man just drop off of the balcony so, or sleepwalk off of the balcony so?
Exactly.
But the things that the man be prime minister for 3 months and just dead so?
Yes.
The things that Shearer just get up on the side say I'm tired so?
Yes.
The CIA cleared the way for Edward Siaga, who was their operative. And yes. It's we have to make Jamaican people wake up. So I don't want to hear no Jamaican person talk about a man who's, even if listen, Sir John Golden do so much for Jamaica. So Sir John Golden has done more for Jamaica than all labor rights combined.
Yes.
Somebody on my TikTok live is reminding me about Siaga and his solidarity program.
Yeah. Hold on, Kamala. Let me just talk to the people.
Sure.
Now remember, we said Kamala is a firehouse and there is no doubt she's a lightning ball. Daisy magazine is a lightning ball. Right? All we are asking, right, for people here to go over, right, and support Kamala, right? Daisy magazine, right? Support Daisy magazine. Right? Because when you give us the strength, it helps us to go on, right? So please remember to go over and subscribe. Remember to also subscribe to Aromatic, all right? So Kamala, please go ahead. Go on.
Man, so, that's what I'm saying. So when we have our platforms, Byron, and thank you for the plug. Thank you. Big up on yourself. Daisy magazine, I just meeting you officially, but big up yourself. But what I am saying, that when we have the ears of the people, we have to control the narrative and stop falling into them narrative.
Yes.
We need to put to rest this issue about Mark Golden citizenship. The man can't, listen, the man cannot determine where his father born. The man cannot go back in time and determine where his father born. The man cannot come forward and say, listen, I am going to denounce who my father is, because that is what basically you're telling him to do. You're telling the man to denounce who his father is.
Yeah.
Why would anybody want to denounce a legacy like that of Sir John Golden own? Because he cannot denounce. He cannot say, oh, I am not a British. I'm not my father is a British man, so how can I not be a British descendant? And as I said to you, Rishi Sunak, and as I keep saying, viewers and subscribers, I have done my research. At no time at all has the Prime Minister of the UK denounced his Indian citizenship. He is also a citizen of India by descent. Just like Mark Golding is a citizen of Britain by descent. And it is so ironic that the colonizers themselves let go off of that. But we know who love to follow the colonizer and PP clock. We want to be politically expedient. That don't make no sense, you know. That don't make no sense. So it's time we switch up the narrative now.
Yes.
We need to move away from this narrative with them. We need to stop back and forth with them. Whole heap of things happening. There's a lot of things that they want us to be distracted from. A lot of things.
Well, you know, the thing about it, Kamala, as it relates to that they are spreading, right? Somehow you have persons who have very short, right, attention span. And when they hear these rumors, because just imagine what I'm saying, Kamala. For over several years, a lot of Jamaicans heard the lies about FinSac.
Yes.
And that lie had now cemented in people's cranium.
That is true.
And so then what we have to try to do, right, is to undo that damage. And so then when I went on to, right, WikiLeaks, right, and got the information, right, and put it out there that the person who caused FinSac, right, is definitely Edward Philip
Siaga again. This man name just keep on coming up again and again and again and again.
Yes, and Dan Crawford and Edward Philip George Siaga. Now, Kamala, what you said?
And Paul Chen Young.
And Paul Chen Young.
And
yes.
Where the other one from Blaze name? Pantan.
You Croskery too.
You Croskery.
All of them.
All of them.
And they are JLP operatives. They are JLP
from
operatives.
Day one.
PNP has nothing to do with FinSac. And this is the reason why they completed the report, Kamala, and doesn't want to show the report.
They can't put out that report because as a matter of fact, Byron, it's not even the alone that they cannot put out the report. It's also the fact that they want to cherry pick parts of the report to put out.
Exactly.
They want to put out what makes them look good. You understand? But I'm glad you bring up the point about how we handled FinSac and the fact that we kept quiet and we didn't say anything.
Exactly.
But so what I think that we should do also is we can play the same game as them, you know.
Yes.
We have more pressing issues to put out there and cement into the people them brain in them cranium is who can shout the loudest.
Exactly.
So while them there shouting about where Mark Golding come from, we supposed to be shouting, say, listen, more than likely when the Prime Minister is a flipping thief because the people them can't declare him, the people them can't certify him assets them in declaration. The more than likely, allegedly the man might be a damn thief. Who is the 6 people them in the parliament were thieving up the money? It's them things they were supposed to concentrate on. Them something they were supposed to hammer home in people's head instead of have people distracted. And this blasted idiot who you play before talking about who bring war and who bring what. When we have video evidence showing said labor right all a stone PNP, mash up them car, do all sort of something. Chuck their badness. These are the things we need to be talking about. And as I say, we have some very powerful platforms on social media. And as a result, we need to use it and combat mainstream media. Exactly. Because we can. Just look at the Rumble experiment. Look at what Rumble did and Rumble. Look at Joe Rogan. Remember, you know. And I bring up Joe Rogan for a very particular reason. During the pandemic, make we talk about that. And it's just a brief example I want to give on how social media triumph over mainstream media. They tried to shut Joe Rogan down off of mainstream media. He moved to YouTube. YouTube, them say, hey, YouTube, block him. It took Spotify to put Joe Rogan over there and everybody follow Joe Rogan go on Spotify. Everybody goes, me personally open a Spotify account because of Joe Rogan, right? And now, what is happening is that all the people on mainstream media are speaking about him. YouTube have to call him back.
Look at that.
You understand?
Look at that.
So at the end of the day, we are the ones that have the voice. We are the ones that have the voice, so we have to use it. The Jamaican mainstream media is nothing to overcome because people stop listening to them anyway. Let me tell you something. In my household, we don't even watch cable TV anymore. If I don't hear say something about PNP going to be on, I don't even go on local television anymore. Them telling me about CVM and TVJ and all of them. So the people don't watch them something that much anymore. People watching we on YouTube at night time when primetime news going on, people tune into we.
That's true.
Look at Andre Stevens' platform. Him have over 8,000 people watching him at one time.
Yes.
It's we, and then other people going live simultaneously on different platforms. It's we, the people them listening to. So we need to put our narrative out there and create our narrative and stop follow up these people. Every minute we under them caca, watch them post. We are the ones who supposed to control the narrative now, Byron.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
But you know, I'm very, very good for that, right? But in the same breath, Kamala, right? We are not going to be a lamb to the slaughter, right? Again. And so then
definitely not.
Exactly. And so then we are going to different certain things. So for tonight, this is the last that we are going to drench it and put a nail in it. And that's why we do the research to bring empirical evidence. Now, yes. Daisy.
Yes, Byron. I'm listening to Kamala and very, very insightful comment she made. Yes. But we, you know, the Jamaican motto says, out of many, one people. There's a reason for that. Every Jamaican born has white blood and black blood. They have the blood of the slave owner and they have the blood of the slaves. Because any country that had slaves, the slave owner impregnated the slaves. And so you had a situation where the slave owner had slaves, but he also was sleeping with the slave that he owned. So you had children coming down the pike that had different complexion. Some were light complexion, some had soft hair, some had thick hair. So there's a reason the motto is out of many, one people. The anthem says, Eternal Father, bless our land, guide us with thy might and keep us free from evil. Keep us free from evil Andrew powers.
Yes.
Right?
Keep us free from Andrew.
Yes. And we have to, those words need to mean something. And right now it seems as if those words mean nothing. Is Jamaica now becoming a racist society? Because this is something Michael Manley fought hard for and fought against in the 1970s. There was a time in Jamaica when if you did not have a certain complexion and a certain texture hair, you could not work even in the Bata shoe store. You could not work at, remember Times Store down on King Street there? You couldn't work in Times Store. Those are the things my father told me because my father was born in 1922. He has since deceased. So you couldn't work in the banks. You couldn't go to the hotels, even though Jamaica is a predominantly black society. So those ills were fought and dealt with in the 1970s. Why are we going back to that?
Yes.
We need to talk about the education system that is failing the children right now. We need to talk about the healthcare system that is failing the people. Yes. Police stations.
Yes.
National security is a problem. If there's a major fire, how many fire trucks are there?
Yes.
You know? the roads, the infrastructure, all those things. And we are here talking about a non-issue.
Yes.
Waste of time. Right now, look at what is happening with that building in Mandeville that they're now saying it's going to cost how many billion dollars to retrofit, something to that effect.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking to myself, hold on, you mean the same building that you're paying $400 million for taxes? For rent? That empty building? Now it's going to cost the taxpayers of Jamaica how much billion dollars?
That's how they run.
They have no money to fix hospitals and schools. They have no money to pay teachers, but they have $1.5 billion to do this.
Yes.
Now, let's look at last week a report came out via the Justice Minister that they paid it cost the taxpayers $530 million to pay to Jamaicans as a result of Andrew Holness's illegal SOEs, states of emergencies. It cost the taxpayers. It didn't cost Andrew Holness, It cost taxpayers of Jamaica $530 million. Do you know what that money could have done? Right now, there is $1.6 trillion or $1.7 trillion unaccounted for. No investigation. Nobody seems to be concerned. No, a prime minister with some integrity and with unquestioned character would immediately launch an investigation. The parliament would make sure there's an investigation into where these monies went. How was so much money misappropriated? You look at Beryllium Regional Hospital. It went from what? $3 billion
to 21
so now it's $21 billion. Where is the investigation? All you're hearing is that they're outsourcing or whatever the term they use. Still, they're misappropriating funds. There's a misappropriation of funds. Where's the investigation? You have SSL. Where's the investigation? And so you have so many things laid bare before the Jamaican people. And all the media is fixated on is a man who followed the Constitution.
Yes.
Followed the rule of law.
Exactly.
And you are fixated on that while you have all this corruption running rampant in front of your faces. And you have nothing to say about it. People are talking about how is Mark Golding going to come back from this. Come back from what? The man did nothing wrong.
Exactly.
He did nothing wrong. So if he did nothing wrong, there's nothing for him to come back from. So they need to come off this narrative. And it is sad. This is really a sad day in Jamaica's history, where you have these politicians who are so blatantly disrespectful. The corruption is so in your face, blatant, brazen. Like nobody cares. Yes, I'm going to rob you. What can you do about it?
Yes.
And they come with a document to enshrine their corruption in the Constitution.
In the Constitution.
Right? So why are we talking about someone who is following the rule of law, following the Constitution, and not the person who is not following the rule of law and not following the Constitution? It is much to do about nothing. We are done with Mark Golding's situation. He did nothing wrong. And if you, like I said before, if you're going to come and say he did nothing wrong, the Constitution allows him to do that. The rule of law allows him to do that. You cannot then follow that statement with a but. That makes no sense whatsoever. Makes no sense. So we have to stop that, and we have to get on with the business of holding the government accountable. Yes, we know corruption did not start with Andrew Holness' administration, but we're going to start with holding them accountable and start with his administration so that other governments coming in their stead will not continue down this road of corruption, because corruption robs the people. That is why we don't have good hospitals. That is why the education system is so poor. Right? That is why you have so many underserved communities. That is why you have people owning water trucks instead of the government through the National Water Commission trucking water to these people, putting water in their pipes. okay, because of corruption. And the
Exactly.
corruption is so bad that it has to be addressed once and for all. And if we're going to make an example of somebody, we have to start now and start with the Andrew Holness-led administration. He happens to be the prime minister of the day. So we have to start with the prime minister of the day, and we have to hold him accountable because by his own example, he is showing that he is corrupt.
Exactly.
Because his statutory declarations are yet to be certified, and he gets on his soapbox and runs his mouth and talks about things of integrity, which he has no business talking about because he is not qualified to do so by his own example. And you wonder why the society is such where people can be stealing people's money in the banks and all of that because he set that tone.
Exactly.
The fish stinks from the head. So they're following his example and doing things to their fellow Jamaicans because he's doing it to the taxpayers. He's showing to the taxpayers that he doesn't respect them when he doesn't have his statutory declarations certified, and when he doesn't sign the code of conduct. He's saying to the people of Jamaica, I don't care about you. You can do nothing about it. And yes, you must keep me in power. Jamaicans, wake up and be the informed, educated voter.
Thank you so much, Daisy, for that wonderful testimony coming from you, dear. I want to just bring in Herb into this. So I'm going to get into the area. And for tonight, I am just going to use tonight, you understand, to answer, right, Mr. Wildman, right, as it relates to the rumor that's been spreading out there as it relates to this. And tonight will be the last we'll be addressing it. And that is why we bring forth the evidence, the empirical evidence, to crush it. So we are now going to get into the business as it relates to going contrary to what Mr. Wildman says, right? That if you born into a Commonwealth region, right, as a Commonwealth citizen, and you take allegiance, right, to another Commonwealth country, then you cannot, right, make a representation in the parliament. Tonight, we are going to disapprove that. We are going to show Wildman that he's wrong. First, let us get to Wildman, right? And I know that this is an issue that, it is a no-burner, but we want to put it to rest. We want to put it to rest and show our people, right? And that's why I get the information, because I want my people to spread it and say, Wildman, you are wrong. You're totally wrong. Now, let us get into the Wildman situation, and then I bring in Herb where this is concerned. Now, this is Mr. Wildman. Pledging allegiance is the problem in the dual citizenship debate. You are dead wrong, sir. You are dead wrong. Now, let us move on. The issue of dual citizenship has been a topical issue in Jamaica for quite some time. And prominent attorney at law, Hugh Wildman, says the public must be aware that the Constitution of Jamaica is against the pledging of allegiance to a foreign state or power for those who want to be parliamentarians or senators. Well, you misquoted the Constitution, Mr. Wildman. When the Constitution speaks of foreign power, we are going to show you who the Constitution defines as foreign state or foreign power, right? Let us get into, so let us go down to show the section that he's quoting. Wildman, who is an expert on the Constitution, told the Gleaner on Tuesday, I think it is my duty to explain to the public how section 39 and 40 of the Jamaican Constitution are to be interpreted. As according to him, he pointed out that section 39 is the qualification section for one to be eligible to be elected to the lower house or to become a senator. This is what section 39 says. The section stipulates that one is eligible to be elected to the House of Representatives or nominated to the Senate, which is the upper house, if one is a Commonwealth citizen and living in the country for 12 months before the election or nomination. In short, the Jamaican Constitution does not recognize Jamaican citizenship as the basis for election or nomination to the parliament, he explained. Asked what the importance of that was. Wildman said it meant that if you were born in a Commonwealth country and came to Jamaica and lived in the country for at least 12 months prior to nomination, you are eligible to be elected or nominated to parliament because you are a Commonwealth citizen, and that is right. Eligible. However, if you are born in Jamaica and go to another Commonwealth country and take out Canadian or British citizenship and come back to Jamaica and you want to be elected to the lower house or nominated to the Senate, you have to renounce the Canadian or British citizenship because you would have been disqualified under Section 40 of the Constitution. Mr. Wildman, you're misinterpreting the Constitution right here. Take it away, Oni, and let us get to. So, yeah, take it away.
I took it away.
All right. So, Brother Herb, right? What you get from that? What is your understanding from that? Because we are going to get into some supported documents that go contrary to what Mr. Wildman said. So, what you get from that?
Sorry about that, folks.
Yes.
Yeah, haven't heard that and spoken directly to Wildman. Wildman made it clearly understood. There's nothing wrong with you if you are born a citizen of another country.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with you if your parents took out a passport for you while being a citizen of that country. But something is wrong the minute you yourself go ahead and renew that passport.
Yes.
Saying at that point in time, you are swearing allegiance to another country.
Yes.
And that makes you disqualified from holding office on the island of Jamaica. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, you know that when it comes to U.S. citizens,
yes,
they had settled that in court
with
Mr. Minister Vaz and Shahini Robinson and some others.
Yes. Bear in mind, Sir Herb, that they were American citizens. Bear that in mind.
American citizens, right. And I'm going to say, strangely enough, just this month, I believe, Colonel Charles Jr., who is a practicing attorney out of Orlando, Florida,
yes,
has decided to give up his U.S. citizenship after being in the parliament
yes,
for quite a while.
Yes.
At least 3 to 5 years he's been in parliament.
Yes.
Right? So that's a situation where he has been uncovered by his own prime minister.
Yes.
I'm probably told he's going to have to do that. Right?
Yes.
He was a well-serving minister. There was nothing wrong with his loyalties. There's nothing at all that you could find fault other than he might be in the wrong party.
Yes.
But the bottom line is he was forced to give up that citizenship. Now you look at Mark, and this prime minister is starting a conversation about Mark. And he has nothing on Mark.
Exactly.
Mark is Mr. Clean.
Exactly.
So he creates out of nothing something.
Yes.
Right? And it seemed to me he might have been talking to Mr. Wildman because he is using the concept of renewing your passport to try and disqualify Mark when, in truth and in fact, nobody knows if Mark has ever renewed his British passport. And the fact that Mark was born in Jamaica, continues to reside there, and has no proclivities to go and join anything in the UK resembling a political organization, or has said a bad word about Jamaica in the UK, there's nothing that Mark has to worry about, because he is a good citizen of Jamaica.
Okay.
He's not a U.S. citizen.
Not a U.S. citizen.
And there was never a question raised about citizens of the Commonwealth who desire to run for office. They always said, oh, you come from New Zealand, you come from Australia, you come from wherever in the Commonwealth, India, Africa, in Ghana or Nigeria, and you can run for office in Jamaica after being resident for a year.
Exactly.
But Mark didn't come from England. He wasn't resident in England for any extended period, maybe visiting, but he's never once said anything other than him being a Jamaican. He's never subscribed to that, right? He's never had to subscribe to that.
All right. So Herb, what we are going to prove tonight to locally and in the diaspora, that even if Mark sworn allegiance to a Commonwealth country, he still can, right, be in the parliament, right, whether it is the lower house or the upper house, pursue prime minister. We are going to prove that tonight with the supporting documents. But
which gives the foundation to that argument.
Exactly.
Because it's in writing, and maybe it was just simply overlooked by the esteemed attorney.
All right. So we are going to hear what a professor has to say, but the professor, right, is not the supported document that I'm going to use. I am going to use a supported document that tell us that from once you are a Commonwealth citizen, you have Commonwealth and umbrella protection to be in the parliament if you want to be. We are going to show that document and rest the argument with Mr. Wildman tonight. So let us go to the wrong Kamala.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. All right. Do you wish to say anything? If not, then we can just move to the next
document.
Man,
go to the document. I'm looking to see the document. I agree with everything that Herbie has said. Exactly. So we can go to the document now.
Let us proceed to the document.
You, Kamala.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Kamala, I'd put something in the private chat for you too. So you
all right. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Wrong target. Professor urges constitutional fix amid dual citizenship. Cas. Onus draws plaque for joining a bubble. All right. So now this is Dr. Christopher Charles describing the furor over opposition leader Mark Golding British citizenship as Cas. And yes, it is Cas, Professor. University of West Indies, Professor Dr. Christopher Charles says he's alarmed, right, by Prime Minister Andrew Holness has joined the talk even though there is no constitutional breach. Let us repeat that. There is no constitutional breach. Get that, Mr. Wildman. Let us move on. He questioned why the Constitution has not been amended to deal with the matter after more than a decade and why Jamaicans have not pressed legislators to do so. In open court, we need to decide as a country what we want, but I am not going to criticize any politician, whether in the PNP, People's National Party, or JLP, Jamaica Labour Party, who have Jamaican citizenship and citizenship in another Commonwealth country because they are constitutionally protected.
Amen.
Amen. The professor of the political and social psychology said, and we are going to show the supporting documents.
Byron, I want you to emphasize what this gentleman's post is again. Just go through that again. Repetition for emphasis, my brother. What is this post again?
Thank you, my dear. Let us do open quote and close quote. Open quote. We need to decide as a country what we want. But I am not going to criticize any politician, whether in the PNP, People's National Party, or JLP, Jamaica Labour Party, who have Jamaican citizenship and citizenship in another Commonwealth country, because they are constitutionally protected under the umbrella of Commonwealth. Amen. And who is this person? Who is this person? Let us see the person's status. The professor of political and social psychology.
Professor of political.
Okay.
We want to get that, and that we want to emphasize. The man is a professor of political science.
Okay. So
let me argue with him.
All right. Thank you, Kamala. If we change that and change it to say you should only have Jamaican citizenship to be eligible to run for political office, then we expect all of them to comply, and they have to comply. Until then, I am not into the cas and unnecessary talk, which we have been saying, Kamala, which we have been saying, Maria, that you understand, we don't see the reason why we are about this, because there is no argument, you understand, to all ear, right? And this professor is also saying the same thing. And I am alarmed that the Prime Minister, right, the worthless Prime Minister, whose statutory declaration has not been declared, and trying to push these smoke screens, try to muddy up the water to avoid us from speaking in relation to his statutory declaration that has not been certified. In speaking of his illicit enrichment, in speaking of the illicit sex, and so then all of what's been going around as it relates to reforming and reconstructing the Constitution, to put in clause in the Constitution for them to have a getaway card. It is not going to work, because guess what? We found out what they are going to do and we called them out. And so then Andrew Holness, right, is now trembling because his last hope has been shattered. His last get out of jail free card has been shattered by Mark Golden. And that is the truth of the matter. Let us read on. Until then, I am not into the cas and unnecessary talk. And I am alarmed that the Prime Minister could be making statements about the leader of the opposition when he is operating with his constitutional rights to have British and Jamaican citizenship. Said, Charles, take that away. I am not even going to go any further because I want to go to the supported documents. Right? Now, I am going to give you two supported documents, Mr. Wildman. Right? Yes. To set you straight as a matter of your interpretation, sir. Your interpretation of the law is totally wrong. So the professor, right, disagree with you. The professor of political science disagree with you. But not only the professor disagreed with you, the Constitution of Jamaica disagreed with you. And I am going to show you another supported documents, right, that totally disagree with you. So let us, and this is, we are only discussing this just to crush it tonight, that Mr. Wildman, I don't know if Andrew Wallace is talking to you to try to help him out. You can't help him out, Mr. Wildman. There's no way you can help him out. Let us go to, right, the political representation Jamaica, right? We are going to go to the Constitution, right, and bring up that, and we are going to read it with the level of understanding and interpretation as it relates to the law. The passport. Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's one, is it?
Yeah.
Because it's not going to show me with them.
All right. Let us get to the Constitution. Right? Dual citizenship and political representation in Jamaica. Let us get to it now, Mr. Wildman. The issue. Section 40, subsection 2 of the Jamaican Constitution specifies that no person shall be qualified to be appointed as a senator or elected as a member of the House of Representatives who A, is by virtue of his own act under any acknowledgement of allegiance, obedience, or adherence to a foreign power or state. Now, the operative word, Mr. Wildman, is a foreign power or state. Let's go further, Mr. Wildman. It is important to know, though, that Section 39 of the Constitution specifies that a foreign power, Mr. Wildman, are you there? Is a non-Commonwealth country. Let us go back to Section 40 because I take time with you, Mr. Wildman. I take time with you. Let us go back to Section 40 and give you the awareness. No person shall be qualified to be appointed as a senator or elected as a member of the House of Representatives who A, is by virtue of his own act under any acknowledgement of allegiance, obedience, or adherence to a foreign power or state. Let us look who the Constitution identify under the definition as a foreign power or state. Come on, Mr. Wine. It is important to note, though, that Section 39 of the Constitution specifies that a foreign power is a non-Commonwealth country. Citizens of Commonwealth countries who have been resident in Jamaica 12 months are thus eligible to sit in Parliament. Other Caribbean countries have similar laws governing the appointment and election of members to the House of Representatives and the Senate in Section 48, subsection 1 of the Trinidad and Tobago Constitution. There is a similar clause related to the election of a member of the House of Representatives. Other similar clause of the Caribbean Constitution include St. Vincent, subsection 26, subsection 1, Guyana 155, subsection 1, St. Kitts and Nevis, right? And all these that being pointed out here, Mr. Wildman, they are Commonwealth.
Myron, all Commonwealth countries have the same rules because we inherited all of the rule them from our former colonizers.
Okay. And
so
here
all of the
goes
Commonwealth
down,
countries have it.
yes, here it goes down to the open and closed quotation again in emphasizing that no person shall be qualified to be appointed as a senator if at the date of his appointment he is by virtue of his own act under any acknowledgement of allegiance, obedience, or adherence to a foreign power or state. And let us go back up here. Who is identified as a foreign power and state? It is important to note, Mr. Wildman, though that Section 39 of the Constitution specifies that a foreign power is a non-Commonwealth country. Argument done with you tonight, and I'm going to give you the supported documents now that we are talking about. But before, let us go to the panel.
Now, what I'd note is that when we brought that up, what he simply said is that Section 40 overrides Section 39.
Yes.
Right? It is not subject to 39. It overrides it. So,
okay. So hold on, sir. The document that I am going to show next.
But when you read section 40, but when you read section 40, it actually still says that the Commonwealth, it considers Commonwealth citizens not foreign. It literally says that.
Go back to it a second in section 4.
Yes, it says that. Bring up the document, Mr. Earl.
Hold that line.
Bring up the document. Yeah. So it says that clearly. So I don't understand Mr. Wildman's interpretation. It's just okay.
Okay, now
this is.
It is important to note that Section 39 of the Constitution specifies that a foreign power is a non-Commonwealth country.
Okay.
All right. Now
All
that's good. Now further down. Go down to no person. Bring it up a little bit more.
Go down?
Yeah. All right. Stop there.
Yes.
Where it says no person shall be qualified to be appointed as a senator if at the date of his appointment he Boleg 8 is by virtue of his own act under any acknowledgement of allegiance, obedience, or adherence to a foreign power or state.
Yes.
But it define what a foreign power is.
But it already defined what a foreign power is.
I hear you. Right.
Is it that you want to take each in isolation and there is no connection because it's one constitution?
That's what he was doing.
No, but that don't make no sense. That can't make sense.
That can't make
sense. No reason with understanding. If him thinks you can take one section in total isolation of another section in one. Exactly. That don't make no sense.
Like here?
That's precisely what he's doing, taking it in isolation.
He's wrong, sir.
Him wrong till him can't wrong no more. And listen to me, no disrespect to Mr. Wildman, but there's enough constitutional cases him lose in court. PNP never lose no constitutional case where them take JP to court yet for. Wildman lose couple well. So him need to sit this one out.
Okay, yeah, so let me see the people. Yes. So let me say this to Mr. Wildman. When he is reading and interpreting, you understand, he has to process it correctly. But not only that, I am going to show him tonight as it relates to the supported documents. You understand that whether you're born in any Commonwealth country, right, and you swear allegiance to another Commonwealth country, right, you have umbrella protection, right, as it relates to, you understand, the Commonwealth laws. Yes. So before we move on, Maria.
Miss Daisy.
Yes, I'm here. You know, I'm listening to you read the document, and I'm thinking to myself that all the constitutional scholars, legal scholars, have come out, and even Darrell Vaz, who says it's on a moral ground that he's objecting to Mark Golding's citizenship, British passport situation. They have all said he did not violate the Constitution. How then can they be trying to quantify, justify, and that part I don't understand. Because if he did not violate the Constitution, what then is the argument?
I can answer you, Miss Daisy.
Yes, right, man. Yes, Kamala.
Because they realize that their argument about moral is not going anywhere. So now they're trying to listen. You don't realize that them goalposts keep changing. Because
but Kamala, stick a pin right there, Kamala. Stick a pin right there. You said, now Darrell Vaz, who brought up the word morality.
Yeah.
Now the truth of the matter is, Darrell Vaz and the word moral, the name Darrell Vaz and the word morality should never be in the same sentence.
Exactly.
So true.
The name Andrew Holness should never, and morality should never be in the same sentence. So when they are talking about, especially Daryl Vaz, it's a morality issue. No. It's the rule of law. Did this man violate the rule of law? Did he violate the Constitution? You say no, he did not. No, and everybody who talks about it says, the Constitution gives him the right to do that. The story is finished. There's no conversation to be had.
Exactly.
No conversation to be had.
No, them switchy goalposts now because they realize that them not get nowhere with the argument there. Now they're trying to convince people that it is constitutionally, there is an issue with it constitutionally.
Yes.
But there's no new constitution. They're trying to reform the constitution. But how can you be asking the fox to watch the hen house?
But apart from you, Wildman, I hear that Abe Dabdub also came on nationwide to argue the government's case.
But Abe Dabdub, like I said, when these people are talking about morality, they really should think long and hard about the meaning of the word before they use it, because it doesn't apply in this situation. We are talking about the Constitution and the rule of law. Did he violate it? No. Then we have no conversation. There's no conversation to be had here.
Done.
However, there are situations and there are conversations to be had about the government paying how much billion dollars to retrofit a building that they're already paying, an empty building that they're paying $400 million per month for in rent. Those are the things. So they come up with these things to distract people from the real issues affecting Jamaican people. Now, everybody interprets the law their own way. But like I said before, most persons making the argument have all agreed Mark Golden did not violate the Constitution. He's well within the rights of the Constitution to do that. If you have a problem, like Professor Charles said, change the thing. Change the thing.
Yes.
That's all. Change it. You have not changed it, so what's the problem?
Exactly. And it is written there, right? The Constitution define, right, what the Constitution is identified as a foreign power or state. It clearly defines that. A foreign power, right, or state, or whatever is a non-Commonwealth entity. So then, what Wildman want to have in his head? It clearly stated that a foreign power or a foreign state is a non-Commonwealth entity. But now, let me use the supported documents now, you understand, and rest the argument whether to Wildman or Dabdub who want to try to, you understand. I don't know if Andrew Honest promised Mr. Wildman that he's going to be the DPP if Paula Llewellyn, which Paula Llewellyn is not going to be successful.
He promised him something get promised, something not right.
Exactly. So I don't know if he promised him to be the DPP. And this is now which part, you understand? Prior to this, I used to be vying for him to be the DPP, not anymore.
No. Him track record not too bossy, Him go there and try to take on the authority, but him track record lacking busy.
And what people need to understand as well, that Mr. Wildman himself, right, had challenged this case, I think, in either Antigua or Trinidad. You understand? And was not successful.
That's what I'm saying. Him track record not too bossy. Him lose it's a whole heap of cases him lose, man. Him not too sound pan the law, because him take up a lot of cases, yes. But him track record not too bossy.
Exactly. So I mean, something seems like it's unwired there.
Yeah, man.
All right, let us use this supported documents and wired what is unwired in his cranium. All right, let us go to the supported document. Come on.
Okay. Same thing them doing to us over here.
All right. Let us show this to the world, people. And we are not going to be speaking about this again, you know. You understand? We are just going to leave this dead because this is dead. This is a no-burner issue. This is a nothing burger, right? So then, let us talk about here. When we do our research, we do our research quite properly. Commonwealth, a free association of sovereign states comprising the United Kingdom and a number of its former dependencies who have chosen to maintain ties of friendship and practical cooperation and who acknowledge the British monarch as symbolic head of their association, which Jamaica did. Establishment. The Commonwealth was an evolutionary outgrowth of the British Empire, contemporaneous with its shedding of mercantilist philosophy. The empire began implementing responsible government, that is, a system under which the governor could act in domestic matters only upon the advice of ministers enjoying the confidence of elected chamber in parts of Canada, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, and Ireland in the mid to late 19th century. These dependent but self-governing states attain growing measures of sovereignty, and their autonomy was subjected only to a British veto. The Imperial Conference in 1926 declared that such states were to be regarded as autonomous communities within the British Empire, equally in status. Get that? Equal in status, in no way subordinate one to another in any aspect of their domestic or external affairs, though united by a common allegiance. Let me read that over back. Let me read that back over. Right? The Imperial Conference of 1926 declared that such states were to be regarded as autonomous communities within the British Empire, equally in status, in no way subordinate one to another in any aspect of their domestic or external affairs, though united by a common allegiance to the crown and freely associated as members of the British Commonwealth of Nations. You hear that, Mr. Wildman? The Statute of Westminster 1931 implemented the decisions made at both that at a subsequent conference, formally allowing each dominion to control its own domestic and foreign affairs and to establish its own diplomatic corps. Let us go on. For a period after promulgation of the Statute of Westminster, membership in the Commonwealth came on condition of allegiance to the British monarch. But the rapid growth of nationalism from the 1920s in parts of the empire with chiefly non-European populations required a reconsideration of the nature of the Commonwealth. India, as what Kamala spoke about earlier, in particular, had been a special case within the British Empire. By title and empire in its own rights, it had a viceroy, a separate secretary of state in London, its own army, and even to a certain degree, its own foreign policy. When India and Pakistan were granted independence in 1947, they became what? Members of the Commonwealth. In 1949, India announced its intention to become a republic, which would have required its withdrawal from the Commonwealth heads of government in London. In April 1949, it was agreed that India could continue its membership if it accepted the British crown as only the symbol of the free association of Commonwealth members. That declaration was the first to drop the adjective British, and thereafter the official name of the organization became what? The Commonwealth of Nations, or simply the Commonwealth. India's grant of independence was the first in a long series of grants, and as former dependency attained sovereignty, Commonwealth membership grew dramatically in the second half of the 20th century. Most of the dependent states granted independence chose Commonwealth membership, like India. Many opted not to recognize the crown as head of state. In 1995, Mozambique became the first country granted entry that was never part of the British Empire or under control of any member. Rwanda, also never part of the British Empire, joined in 2009. Some states became independent and rejected membership, such as Burma, Myanmar in 1948. The Commonwealth was also beset by some members opting to withdraw from the organization, as did Ireland, right, in 1949, South Africa 1961, and Pakistan 1972, though both South Africa and Pakistan eventually rejoined the former in 1994 and the latter in 1989. In addition to independent members, the Commonwealth also comprises dependent territories which are formally governed by the United Kingdom, Australia, or New Zealand. Most of the older dependencies are colonies. Dependents include Anguilla, Bermuda, the Cayman Islands, the Falkland Islands, Gibraltar, and the Turks and Caicos Island, United Kingdom, Christmas Island, and the Cocos Island, the Coral Sea Island, and the Norfolk Island. Australia and Neo and Tokelau, New Zealand, the United Kingdom has followed a policy of leading the dependencies towards self-governing by creating territorial governments in them. These governments comprise a lawmaking body, often called the Legislative Council, an executive body called the Executive Council, right, which with the governor is the executive authority and an independent judiciary. So these people are not prevented, you understand, from participate right into, you understand, their parliament. At first, government posts are appointed, but an increasing elected element is introduced as constitutions are altered until elected officials are made wholly responsible for local affairs. After a colony achieves internal self-government, its legislature may apply to the British Parliament for complete independence. It then decides whether to remain in the Commonwealth. Right, so take that away. So let us go to the panel. So let me start with in all of that what we have read, it is showing us the umbrella protection of the Commonwealth and how the Commonwealth protect, right, and where it gives accessibility to anyone in the Commonwealth. And so then when the Constitution, the Jamaica Constitution, speaks definitely in identifying a foreign power or a foreign state, it doesn't mean anyone in the Commonwealth country.
Right.
Tell me what you take away from this document.
Well, you know, if I was looking for foundation, I found it.
Exactly.
Because this is how it breaks it down minutely as to what the Commonwealth is, how it was put together, how it broke, and how it came back together again, right?
Exactly.
And that it's very firm in saying that they're not a foreign power. They're not. That's simple. Yeah. So I really and truly appreciate reading that in black and white and dating it all the way back, I think, to 1926.
You're perfectly right.
Yeah. And so what else would Andrew Michael Holness need to convince him that he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Exactly.
Whoever stuck that idea in his head was trying to say that, oh, we are made up differently than everybody else in the Commonwealth.
No.
Right? I just don't see. What I see is that they would like to reinvent the Commonwealth in this case. And what they're going to do, they're going to try to do it with the new constitution.
Amen. But you know what the irony of the situation is, Herbie?
Yeah.
Andrew Holness just pushed his Minister of Foreign Affairs to assume the role of the General Secretary of the Commonwealth.
Yep.
Because what they implemented him.
Can you
the Commonwealth, but he was trying to get Kamina
up there, right?
The Commonwealth. Suppose she did win. When would I say?
This is what I was going to ask you. What if she had won? We would be in for a long haul.
Oh yes.
They would have taken us round the bowl.
It would have shown them hypocrisy even more. It would have shown them hypocrisy even more. That's what it would do, in my opinion.
Well, it's showing it up now anyway. Because when he comes out with that serious face,
yes,
just the way he tore down, what's that other politician he tore down when he built the stall for the Richard Azan, right? He tore down Richard Azan in the same fashion. And he's trying the same thing with the leader of the opposition, right? But it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And you know what? Maybe it's a good thing the people of Jamaica have programs like this that they can listen to, that they can sit in on, and don't get fired up. Don't let them pump them full of hot air.
Exactly.
And get them too excited, right?
Amen.
Because this is telling them like it is.
Exactly. Thank you. You finished, sir, or you want anything you want to
I didn't want to get ahead of you, because I mentioned something a while ago, what they're trying to do with the Constitution.
Yes.
And you know, when they tear down one thing and they use a false narrative like he's utilizing to tear down an individual, I would like to see more comeback and just break it down in the same fashion and tell the Prime Minister he needs to stop what he's doing.
Exactly.
Because what he's doing, he's destroying the fabric of what a nation is by introducing.
I play a video for you. I don't know if you've seen it, but I haven't heard any of you discussing it, or I don't know if you didn't have access to it. But I want you to listen to this that I'm gonna play right now.
Okay.
Play come.
This is Mark Golding, President of the People's National Party and Leader of the Opposition. I was born in Jamaica. I grew in Jamaica. I have only ever worked in Jamaica, and I'm not leaving Jamaica, land we love. And I can tell you, I am not one of the illicit six, and my statutory declarations to the Integrity Commission have been certified and published for all years through to and including 2022, and my declaration for 2023 was filed in time by the March deadline in accordance with the law. God bless you all.
That was the comrade leader in a release today.
All right. So, you know what the comrade leader is saying, the potential Prime Minister that has integrity and honesty, and with his statutory declarations, all of his statutory declarations that he had submitted have been certified. So then, but Andrew just said that the issue of distractions, right, as it relates to Comrade, let me say this. Let me tell you what, let me expound on what Mark is saying. That we need to stay focused in moving forward. Our aim, right, is anticipating the general election.
That is it.
For us, right, to vote, right, PNP, right, we want to get out the Jamaica Labour Party for good.
We have to get them out. It's
Exactly.
a must. Them have to go down.
I am not going to hesitate tonight in saying what I am going to say. Jamaica Labour Party is a criminal network. Will you ever have? And let me say this in extension before I bring in also Maria as well. Let me say this in extension. The PSOJ, right? The umbrella group of churches,
hypocrites,
right? And all relevant authority. You don't understand. Are you not aware? Are you that oblivious? You are not cognizant that we have a Prime Minister of Jamaica at the helm.
Him look right? Just like them. The whole of them. The whole
the
of
chief
them.
guard of the country. Right? The chief guard of the country. Statutory declaration cannot be certified. No, as what Margolin said, March 31st, this March 31st, Mark is telling us, our potential Prime Minister is telling us that, look, my statutory declaration for this March 31st has been certified. Has been certified. Mark declared them. Now, so what happened to Andrew Holness? Now you tell me now, what happened to Andrew Holness? The issue that we have here is not about Mark Golden dual citizenship, that he has broken no constitutional laws, and where the Commonwealth defend him. And for people who don't talk about Mark Golden need to renounce and to avoid argument, we are not going to give in. We are not going to bow. It's up to Mark Golden whether or not he wants to renounce.
And he doesn't need to.
And he doesn't need to renounce nothing. So we not bow to no boy. You understand what I'm saying? We not bow to no boy. Who not, right? And who can't have his statutory declaration certified. You tell me, the Prime Minister Andrew Holness in 2019, his 2019 statutory declaration have him at $171 million, while his wife have been constructing a development at least flat from 2012 that now escalating value of over $800 million, and his 2019 statutory declaration did not carry it at the current market value. You think that people are idiots around us? Eh? The thing we do. Right? Juliet Holness, right? 800 development at least flat, right? Has not reflected on the 2019 statutory declaration. Andrew Holness, your statutory declaration cannot be certified. PSOJ, umbrella of churches, and you know, as a matter of fact, I am going to show the signature. I'm going to reveal something tonight. But before I reveal it, I'm going to reveal it right now and show the people who sign off on this sort of constitution, get out of jail card for Andrew Holness. I am going to expose the signature them tonight. You understand? All of the persons them who, you understand, definitely side with Andrew Holness. That's why I say corruption in our church too, you know. Holy for corruption in our church, you know. You understand? So we are going to get to that. And that is the last document that we are going to present. Before I move there, let me ask Maria, right, what she has to say on this issue. Maria, come in.
Yeah, something Sir Herb, I think one of you, Sir Herb, mentioned earlier that no, it was Ratmango about Kamina Johnson Smith vying for the post of Secretary General of the Commonwealth. Now, like you said, had she gotten the job, how would they now square this issue with Mark Golding? Because the Jamaicans are part of the Commonwealth. Now, if he had no, if they think that he is in violation of the Constitution, which he's not, why then was she put up for Secretary General of the Commonwealth? So you see, their hypocrisy. you know, they do things. Listen, the thing is, they tell so many lies that they can't keep up with their own lies, so they just keep falling on their swords and falling over each other. But again, it's a distraction from the issues of the day. Andrew Holness's statutory declarations yet to be certified is more concerning than any other thing we want to talk about tonight. He is the Prime Minister of the country, and he sets the standard. He did not sign it, neither did any member of his parliament. No member of his cabinet, no member of his party. Nobody signed it because what? They're above that. That's what they're about. It's the law for them and not for thee. Right?
Yes.
Okay. When you look at the way they're trying to hold Mark Golding and hold the People's National Party their feet to the fire, you have to ask the question, do the same rules apply to you as a leader? Because it cannot be that the law only applies to a few and not to everybody. When you look at the constitution that they want to reform, and as I will say again, they are not qualified to reform anything. And you look at the report that they put out as the ideas coming forth about what they want to put in a constitution, it has nothing to do with the Jamaican people. It is about enshrining corruption and enshrining Andrew Wallace's right to do whatever he wants to do and get away with it. And the people of Jamaica cannot hold him accountable. The people of Jamaica cannot recall their leaders. And all that they can do is that the political director that they vote into office can legislate their lives away, can cause them for generations to come. What we need to understand, that the reforming of the Constitution is not about just now, parents, Jamaican parents, it's not about just you. It's about your children and your children's children for generations to come. You will have a government in place that will take away the rights of your children, give themselves the right to do whatever they want with you and your children. You might not be here to see what is happening to your children and your grandchildren and great-grandchildren generations down the line. But they will be, and they're going to ask the question, why did they sign off on this? Did they not see that they were not protecting anybody but themselves? We cannot allow that to happen. And this is what the focus must be on. We have to be laser focused on the issues. We have to be laser focused on the corruption that has taken over the country. We have to be laser focused on the level of misappropriation of funds left, right, and center. And because there's so much misappropriation of funds, there is no money to spend on the actual things that need money right now. Teachers cannot get good pay, but politicians can get 200%. We're not talking about those things anymore. Everything is 9-day talk. It cannot be, because the people who are suffering most are the Jamaican people. We have to be the voice of the voiceless. And, when you listen to Andrew and his minions talk, as we like to call them, you have to wonder who do they care about? It cannot be the Jamaican people. It really cannot be the Jamaican people. Andrew talk about he doesn't care about winning elections. He cares about his legacy. History is writing your legacy right now, and it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. And we have to hold them accountable, because this does not look good It doesn't augur well for the future of Jamaica, and we cannot allow Andrew Holness to come and destroy democracy that he inherited. He inherited a democratic country, and Andrew wants to take it to a place where there's no democracy and there's dictatorship, and it's only the opposition has no say, the people have no say, only the government has a say. He even want to take away the power of the court system. We cannot allow this to happen. These are the things we need to talk about. Mark Golding is fine. He does things within the law. We don't need to talk about Mark Golding. These are the things that are the first and foremost at the minds and should be coming off the lips of every Jamaican. And we have to educate them and tell them that, listen, do not let them come to you with any constitution reform report and say, agree to this. It is not about your children. Ask them, how can I hold you accountable? I see nothing in there to hold you accountable. Why should I sign off on this when there's nothing in there to hold you accountable? What about my Charter of Rights? My rights as a Jamaican, what about those rights? What about those rights? And don't talk about doing it in phases. It must be done one shot. One shot. These are the things that we need to be talking about, not Mark Golding.
All right. Well said. You're finished, Daisy? You're
Yes,
finished, Mark?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Well said. Well said. Now, again, let me remind all of us in the chat and people who are watching us in TV land, right? I want you to support Daisy Magazine. And remember, go over Kamala Wright Mango and support. Remember, unity is strength, and we need to support these people. For those people who have not yet subscribed, right? Please go over, right? Kamala Wright Mango, subscribe, right? Support Daisy Magazine as well. All right. So let me go to Kamala for Kamala to take her final bite out of that.
Yeah, boy, Daisy Magazine has certainly hit the nail on the head. She's right on every account. Very, very, very well. It is so hard to say after she said what she said, but I am going to basically just finish off with this.
Yes.
Right now, we are in a constitutional crisis. Jamaicans need to understand that this government is playing a three-card trick while they are distracting you with all of this. Right? As I said before, and Daisy mentioned, we are in a situation where we all know the law. If Kamina had been the gensec of the Commonwealth gensec, and I shouldn't even say if she had been. The mere fact that she attempted to be the gensec of the Commonwealth shows you the blatant hypocrisy these people are dealing with. So the Commonwealth is important a year ago, but it is no longer important now. Is that them trying to say?
There you go.
You understand? So the fact of the matter is, and I will forever be reiterating, we are on the right side of law. We are on the right side of history. Let us not squander this opportunity that we have, this golden opportunity to take the charge and show Jamaican people. So listen, hey, be careful. This whether I can't even say them is pushing back. Everybody know how them stay already. Every Jamaican already know this government and their criminality. But we have to show them that Mark Jefferson Golding is chosen by God to lead them out of this, whatever it is that we are in.
That's no joke.
It's no joke. Right? God give us the opportunity. Them can't be sidelined by the devil. The JLP is a devil at work. If you come on my platform, I tell you every night, say them is a set of demons. No question, no, and I have no regrets by saying this because the things that they're doing are basically borderline demonic.
So true.
They operate without conscience. Them operate without any fear of repercussion. Them don't have no conscience. Them wouldn't even stop for a minute to say to themselves, say, listen here, no, you know, say, boy, you want to see. No more. That's why I find it so appalling that these people talk about morals. They have no moral fortitude for anything. You know, so at the end of the day, we have to take the charge and guide the people. And you know, I just want to say to you, your subscribers, your viewers, big up, thank you for the support. Thank you. And if you're not following me yet, follow me on YouTube. We are all, I just want to remind them that we are streaming simultaneously on TikTok on my platform. Kamala the Right Man go on TikTok. All I want to need to come over TikTok. Definitely. But at the end of the day, you made some key points about the PSOJ and the church and these people who are not. It's like them blind, deaf, and dumb all of a sudden.
Exactly.
You understand? But what you have to realize is that the PSOJ are the people who dangle the Andrew puppet string, you know. So even though most of them, and I'm talking about 90% of them, have the same ethnicity as Mark Golding, because they are so corrupted and power hungry, and they're so interested in maintaining that seat of power, they refuse to acknowledge that this swipe at Mark Golding is a swipe at all of them. The racist rants of these labor rights. I mean, you can transpose Mark Golding to them, and this is what it would be. But corruption and power corrupts absolute. What got that saying about absolute power?
Power corrupt, absolute, and absolute power corrupt.
Absolutely.
That is it.
Yes.
That is it. And we need to keep that in mind. Them people need to pack up and go now. But that is my last contribution for the night, because we're coming up onto that time now where I don't know how to do it, you know. You older folks who wouldn't look older than me, but when I can tell you something, the day I reach 40, you know, when it reached 9 o'clock at night time, my eye them start close. So I don't know it's stay up late night thing.
All right. So what we are going to do, and then we just after we feature this, the persons who sign off on the document, because we want to expose it, right? Then we just have Herb just close us out, right, for tonight. So let us get into the document, and then we come back to Herb for Herb to just close us out.
The entire document, or you just want the signature page?
No, this, and the signature page.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So that's page 50. Okay.
Just give me the signature page. Give me the signature page.
It's okay. I'm going to bring it up.
All right. So, people, what we are going to show tonight are those who signed off on Andrew Honest's get out of jail card, right? They knew very well that there is no impeachment clause there. They know very well. And they signed off on this document. They know very well that Andrew Honest want to hang on to the Privy Council. They still signed off on this document, right? Okay.
We ask for and then the signature one.
Yes, this document.
Let me just put it on.
All right.
Page 152.
The one is supposed to go? The one is supposed to go?
The one page 152,
Okay,
right?
okay, yeah.
Oh, the persons. Okay. Let me just take off the. Okay, so. There.
All right.
Okay, so that one.
So report of the Constitutional Reform Committee Chair.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mr. Anthony Hilton, CD, MP, Parliamentary Opposition, House of Representative.
So those are the members of the committee.
These are the members of the Reform Committee. Mr. U. Small, KC, Consultant, Counsel and Nominee of the Leader of the Parliamentary Opposition.
Sorry.
Oh, we missed a page?
Start from.
Oh, start from here. Okay.
Just scroll down a little more and tell you how many persons there.
Okay, so let us, yeah, sorry about that, people. All right, so 1.1.2, the CRC is composed of 15 members with varied training, experiences, and associations as follow. 1. Honorable Marlene Malawu Fort, KC, JP, MP, the Constitution Fixer for Andrew Ones, Chairman, Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs. Number 2, notice who this Ambassador Rocky Mead, right? CD, JP, PhD, right? This is one of the reasons why Andrew Ones, right, bring him closer to support this. Chairman of Office of the Prime Minister, co-chairman of the Office of the Prime Minister, Dr. Derek Mackay, CD, KC, Attorney General of Jamaica, Senator, the Honorable Thomas Tavares Pinson, OJCD, KC, President of the Senate and Commissioner of the Electoral Commission of Jamaica. Yes, he's going to sign off on this. Senator Ransford Bryan, CD, KC, Government, Senate. All right. Senator Donna Scott Motley, Parliamentary Opposition, Senate. Right? And Mr. Anthony Hilton, CD, MP, Parliamentary Opposite, right? Out of Opposition, Out of Representative. Mr. U. Small, KC, Consultant, Counsel, and Nominee of the Leader of the Parliamentary Opposition. Dr. the Honorable Lai Barnett, OJ, National Constitutional Law Expert, right? So, him not say no impeachment at night, and yet him a law expert. Professor Richard Albert, International Constitutional Law Expert, University of Texas.
Right? Wait 1 second, but all of these people never signed.
Hold on,
yeah, but we're going to show you. We're going to show you who signed.
Okay.
We're going to show you who signed. Dr. David Henry, Wider Society Faith Base. Dr. Nadine Spence, Civil Society Social and Political Commentator. Mistress Lalita Davis Mattis, CDJP, National Council of Reparations. Mr. Sojay Boswell, Advisor on Youth Strategic Engagement. Dr. Elaine McCarthy, Chairperson, Jamaica Umbrella Group of Churches. As you see what I'm telling about the churches, right? And this lady, right, would have seen.
She's so tribal. She's so tribal. I heard her on Beyond the Headlines one day. She is so tribal.
All right. I'm telling you, let us find the signature and show the Jamaican people who signed off. You understand, as it relates to Andrew Ones, get out of jail card. So let us go to the final document. And then we come back to Herb to wrap us up. All right, people, here's the evidence. Let us look. All right, this constitutes the report of the Constitutional Reform Committee and the transition to the Republic of Jamaica and other matters, phase 1. This is how them talk about phase 1, right? Everything should just done all at once. But the phase 1 and promise about phase 2 now come till about 20 years, right? Andrew Jonas did want. But we're glad we stop him. Dated the 3rd day of May 2024. Person who signed it, Honorable Marlene Malawu Fort, Chairman. All right. Dr. Derek McCoy, here is his signature, sign off. Senator Ransford Bram, right? See here, Dr. Anthony Hilton did not sign. Mark, see the people? He did not sign. So this shows you that Mr. Hilton is one of our heroes, right? Who's supporting and protecting the Jamaican people, right? From the destruction that would have come, right? Dr. the Honorable Light Barnett, there is signature. Dr. David Henry, there is signature, right? Miss Lalita Davis Mattison, signature. Dr. Elaine McCarthy, signature. Let us go over on the right. Ambassador Rocky Mead, here is signature at the top. Senator Honorable Tamar and Thomas Tavares Finson, here is signature at the top. Senator Dana Scott Matley, there is no signature. She's one of our heroes, right? Mr. Hugh Small, one of our heroes. So the 3 persons who did not sign this document, and if they had done that, Jamaica would face the abyss of hell. So we want to say a big thanks to Anthony Hilton, Senator Dana Scott Matley, Mr. Hugh Small. Jamaica people love you dearly. Here it is. Professor Richard Albert signed the document. Dr. Nadine Spence signed the document. And Mr. Sojay Boswell signed off on the document. People, want to see the level of viciousness. There is the document. There is a proof of all of them who signed up. And some of them, the majority of them, right, weren't even going to the meeting, right? Weren't even going to many of the meetings. They absent so many times and still come sign off on a document like that, right? So to show you, right, they didn't even read through or going through. They missed so many meetings and they just sign. The level of viciousness. So I'm glad I showed the people, all those persons who signed. So here comes, we are at the end of our program and we're going to ask Sir to take us out with his final word for us.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
You know, it's amazing to me that a Rhodes Scholar, a man who speaks 5 languages, that has his PhD, been through military training, would sit up there and let people of this lesser ilk convince him that he should sign a document that he knows to be a troubled document. It's just simply amazing, because I would expect leadership from him to convince them of the opposite, not to sign until it shows some balance and reasoning. Now, we've got to look at the leader, the actual leader himself. We know that this is a man who, under the statutory declaration of assets, liabilities, and income with Integrity Commission, his filing has amounted to zero. It's unacceptable, right? You pointed out the fallacy of having a $800 million asset and it's nowhere to be found in their filing. And now you have the fact that it has not been accepted in 3 years. We're going into the 4th year, and we still are waiting for this man to make some move. And the move that he chooses to make is to set his future and that of everybody, every shyster in the party like him, to give them cover. Now, what did we hear when he first ran? I believe it was 2015. We heard a lot of things he declared within 100 days, right? He's going to set up to ensure there's a set date for voting in Jamaica. Within 100 days, he was going to have Parliament come up with a way to hold politicians accountable and to set a standard that would include the ability to recall and the ability to impeach.
Yeah.
All of these things within 100 days. Now, what do we see? We see where he's trying to reverse those words by enshrining the opposite in a document that we all would have to live with over the next probably 50 years. Now, folks, my mom didn't raise no fool, but when I look for something on Diaspora, with him coming out and stating that people with the dual nationality should be allowed to run. He said that earlier.
Exactly.
But now here, we're nowhere to be found in this new document that he wants everybody to sign off on. So is the diaspora being punished for being so outspoken, to be so bold? What's going on?
Yes.
Right? So let's look at something else. 7 years for the new president in office, and whoa, he has the same rights as the current governor general, where he cannot be charged with any criminality, such as failure to file, such as any other lies that have been told that would amount to perjury, an official form, an official filing, right? Well, if he commits treason or mass murder, yes, they'll take him down for that. But we know he's not going there. We know his intent is to cover his butt.
Exactly.
Right? So all he has to do is get the opposition to sign off on the document, and then he can wheel and deal. They have enough power in Parliament. So if he resigns, somebody else takes over, the document becomes the new constitution, and they vote him in as president. They nominate him, he's going to get it. Several things happen, right? He has, there is 9 senators out of 27 that goes to the opposition. The ruling party has, I believe is it 12?
15.
And then 13?
15, I think.
15. And then he will have another three
yeah.
nominees that he can votes that he has the power to flip to the party. So they'll have 18 senators to the opposition's 9. And you need 2/3 of the Senate to vote to pass anything of great consequence to the country.
Exactly.
Right? So we have this, I've always said, figures lie, and that's a quote from somebody, and liars figure.
Yes.
And that's what we see here in motion.
Yes.
That all of these things that didn't happen within 100 days gets written off.
Yes.
And these new things come to pass, and he's home, sliding to home plate, and they can't touch him.
Yes.
Right? He just brushes it off. We want him held accountable. And what needs to happen is the DPP acting needs to take action with regards to 4 years running and no accurate declaration. Start the ball rolling.
It's crazy.
Charge him. Right? Let's put the charge there.
He needs to be charged.
He needs to be charged. Because here you recall a member of the opposition and you charge him. Even though you had paid up, but you didn't pay it in the required time frame, and you charged him.
You charged him.
So charge this guy. Right? Don't let him abuse the system because everybody else wants to do it. The people in the sports world, like the various heads of sporting bodies, they do the same thing. They end up in court right now, but they are abusing the system.
Yes.
You have a mayor out in Hanover running a ghost league, abusing the system.
Abusing the system.
Right? All of these people that they see what he's doing and he's getting away with, and guess what? His own party people who should show some integrity, who know that good governance comes from transparency and accountability in everything we're doing. We here in the Northeast United States, we're still asking, where did the $460,000 US that we collected and donated to the government to help out during COVID, where did it go?
Exactly.
Where's the $1.7 billion that the Auditor General has declared as missing or unaccounted for? Where did that go? See, folks, the hits just keep on coming.
Yep.
But here in the diaspora, we're fed up. We had a protest in March in Miami. We had another protest 3 weeks ago in New York City. Over 350 people. And on the 15th of June, we'll have another protest here in Washington, D.C. We are pointing out to the government, we are not 9-day wonders, that we are the diaspora. We recall things, we document things, and we're tired of you pulling the wool over the eyes of the Jamaican people. You get a $750 million loan during COVID, and then you have tell people who can afford a computer, probably can't even afford the broadband. You tell them that to get the money that they were supposed to receive, they have to go online and register. Do you have a library in their neighborhoods that has computers that they can go and use those computers and register, or be shown how to use a computer in the first place? You're being disingenuous. You're being conniving. Again, figures lie and liars figure. You're going to have these people to pay back that money, and they never got the grants that they were supposed to be receiving, but they have to pay it back, right? None of this makes sense, and so you have to be stopped. Somebody in your party needs to replace you. You're taking the party in the wrong direction, and you need a good old-fashioned cleansing. Probably have you go down to the Black River and get yourself rebaptized again. That would probably make a believer out of me.
Exactly.
But you're not going to do that, because you're bigger than everybody else. You're better, you're bolder, and you're a liar.
Yes.
You need to ask your people for forgiveness. You need to change direction. Without that, you're not going back into office. And you need, at this point, to have that DPP prosecute, because that is her job.
Exactly.
Right? You don't need to bring the old one back. You don't need to defy the court order and keep her in place. She needs to go. She messed up big time. So that's it for me. I mean, you have made your case, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know, we all agree. We're all in agreement.
Thank you very much. Want to say a big thanks to Daisy Maria, Daisy Magazine, right, to come and spend her lovely time with us. Also, Kamala, a big thank you to come and spend your precious time with us.
Bless up yourself.
Exactly. People remember to do, right? Daisy Magazine, and people, hold on, let us just play the Daisy Magazine thing again to remind us, right, to make sure that you are supporting Daisy Magazine. It's up there.
Yes, just hold on. So Mr. Rattigan had apologized for not being here. Apparently there's something that he couldn't get out of.
Yes.
So he wasn't able to make it. He did send a message a bit earlier on that I'm just seeing. So he sent his apologies that he was able to
make it.
Understood.
Yes.
And also, let me just bring up Daisy Magazine and then I'll talk.
If you're looking for an online magazine aiming to captivate and empower, look no further than Daisy Magazine. Daisy Magazine is the leading online publication in the US. Subscribe to Daisy Magazine, the digital subscription publication. Subscribe at www.magster.com/p/Daisy. Subscribe to the leading online publication, Daisy Magazine.
Okay, and please also,
if you're looking for an online magazine.
Sorry, and please also remember the march that's coming up on June 15th, and that will be in Washington, D.C., 1520 New Hampshire Avenue, Northwest Washington, D.C., and that will be in front of the Jamaican Embassy, and it will be from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And of course, we're raising our voice against corruption, crime, poverty, failed healthcare, poor education, and a laundry list of other things. that's taking place there that is not correct or right. And also remember the one that is coming up in Canada here.
Jamaica Diaspora Crime Intervention and Prevention Task Force, in association with the Global Jamaican Diaspora Council, presents on the 26th of July 2024, Jamaicans and Friends of Jamaica. Join us in conference as we speak against corruption, crime, poverty, failed healthcare, poor education, and injustice in Jamaica. This takes place on the 26th of July at 1320 Ellesmere Road, Ontario, Canada. This conference starts 3 till 10 p.m. Guest speakers on the day: Wayne Lonesome, Will Rattigan, Mystic Sensation, Herb Nelson Jr., Aromatic, Sister Maria, Jamaican Carlos, Dr. Rupert Francis, Jeffrey Tavares, and more. This is going to be a very important event for all Jamaicans and friends of Jamaica. Don't miss this event if you care about our country. Jamaicans in the diaspora, we can make a difference.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me say a big thanks to you all, and that ends tonight's show.
Mystic, before you go, thank you, Mystic Sensation and Marie. Thank you, Kamala. Lovely meeting you. And you know, we're going to do this again many times over. Sir Herb, my respects to you. You know, the word is love, you know. And, you know, these protests, it would be nice for somebody in Jamaica to take on the task of having one of these protests in Jamaica. It doesn't have, if they don't want to give them permits, they cannot do a town hall style meeting, because you have to take it to them. Because Jamaica still have the current constitution, and the freedom of speech has not been taken away, and they cannot allow Andrew Hornet's administration to take your voices away. They cannot lock up everybody. They just can't. So it would be good for somebody, you know, with the strength, the stamina, the determination to really take on the task of doing a protest in Jamaica.
Right.
I see here also, folks, where a suggestion is being made that we put in an audio recording the proposal in the Constitution for those who do not read.
Yeah,
and that would make a lot of sense.
Yes.
Right? And folks, look, it's been a pleasure again to be your guest. And to speak with my sisters, Kamala and Maria. And look,
blessings.
We're blessings, and we're blessed, and we're able to speak up for others who can't speak for themselves. And it's good to know that you guys are on the job and keeping us all free and clear of these oppressive people that call themselves a government. So have a good night.
All right. Blessings, Brother Herb. All right. Kamala, any last word?
Yeah, man. Thank you again for having me. Thank you for promoting my platform. I always love to come and share with you. Just to remind the viewers on your platform that the people on TikTok, my platform, were also tuned into the show. They found it very enjoyable. As a matter of fact, church program is called Politics Church. And one person said, "Why the church still pack?" You know, because normally we would have ended already. So that unity, it was an excellent discussion. Sister Maria, it was my pleasure to meet you. I think that you're a very extremely intelligent person. and I love how you reason. So it was my pleasure to share the platform with you. And Sir Herb,
thank you, Kamala.
You're most welcome.
All right. Here you go. You have it, people, the best of the best. And of course, definitely, coming Thursday, Meet the Titans will be rolling out. All right. And you know, the Titans, we cut it different over there. Raw. They're raw. Let me say that. All right. So once again,
indeed,
thanks. And, people, have a wonderful rest of your night. And of course, we appreciate all that you have been doing for us in supporting us. Once again, big thanks to you all.
Blessing.
All right.
Okay, good night, everyone.
Take care. All right.
Same to you.
Good night.
Good night.
All right.
Okay, guys, have a wonderful rest of your night. Get your rest and safe travel on the gravel until we meet again on Friday for Mystic Sensation. And Baron will be doing Titans.
Titans.
All right, thank you so much. Love you all. Good night.